If you stand before the mirror 7 days from this precise moment, and you see the same eyes staring back at you, void of fire and full of the same old excuses, then let it be recorded that you did not listen, you merely heard. This transmission is not designed for the spectators who are content to stand on the sidelines of life watching the parade of success pass them by while they rot in the comfort of their own indecision. This is not for the drifters who float downstream like dry leaves on a river of circumstance, begging for a current to take them somewhere pleasant. This is for the man who is sick unto death of drifting. This is for the man who is tired of waiting for a permission slip from the world that will never come. This is for the man who is finally ready to take absolute dominion over his own mind and command his destiny with the authority of a king. If you are not that man, turn back now, for the heat of this instruction will burn you. But if you are that man, then listen with fire in your heart, for we are about to engage in the most important work of your life. You have drifted long enough. You have hesitated at the edge of decision until your will has grown cold and your ambition has stiffened into a rigid paralysis. You have whispered your dreams in the dark when you should have been shouting commands in the light. You have consumed ideas and books and philosophies by the dozen, yet you refuse the pain of actual transformation. You know what I say is true. Deep in the quiet recesses of your soul, where you cannot lie to yourself, you know that you have been playing small. You know that there is a giant sleeping within you that has been sedated by the hypnotic rhythm of mediocrity. You do not need more information. You are drowning in an ocean of information, but you are starving for wisdom. You do not need another theory. You need a general. You need to be commanded. And you will obey, not because I say so, but because a part of you desires liberty more than it desires the slavery of comfort. The most dangerous place for any human being is to live half awake. To nod in agreement with the truth but never act upon it is a form of spiritual suicide. This message is not meant to soothe you like a lullaby or comfort you in your stagnation. It is meant to shake you. It is meant to rattle the slumbering spirit within you until it awakens with the authority that is your birthright. 7 days is all I ask of you. But these are not ordinary days. These are the fires of the forge. And if you submit to the laws and the disciplines I am about to lay down, the man you are now will vanish. He will be burned away in the furnace of discipline, and a new man will emerge from the ashes. You have no right to remain who you were yesterday. Time demands a new man. Your destiny demands a new vessel. The world is crying out for leadership and strength, but you cannot give what you do not possess. Therefore, you must build it. Circumstances will not wait for your convenience. The economy will not pause while you get your mind right. Opportunities will not linger at your door, begging for your attention. No more shall you say, I will try. You will not try. You will do. You will not test the waters. You will dive in. You will not ask for permission. You will command. In 7 days you will become different, not by chance, not by luck, but by law. The law of the mind is as exact as the law of gravity. If you align with it, you rise. If you ignore it, you fall. You will follow these laws and they will build you into something indestructible. This is not about watching a video. This is about building a monument. And that monument is your own character. Every morning for the next 7 days you will choose who you are. You will rehearse that man with word, with step, with silence, and with fire. And every night you will seal the day with affirmation and resolve. You are not waiting to become. You are declaring who you already are and proving it with action. You have heard men say that you become what you think about. That is a partial truth. You become what you think about when that thought is backed by faith, decision, and repetition. Thought alone is not enough. A thought held in faith, declared with power, and repeated with discipline will reshape your world. You will not drift through the week ahead. You will rule it with structure, with declaration, with clarity, and with force. You will not let the world train you. You will train your mind before the world lays a hand on you. Do not speak to me of how hard life has been. You are here to build the man who can face hardship and laugh. You are not a victim of your conditions. You are the commander of your inner world. And that inner world is the birthplace of all riches, all freedom, and all power. You have allowed emotion to speak louder than decision for too long. That ends now. You will feel less. You will act more. You will think clearly. You will move swiftly. And when doubt whispers, you will not negotiate. You will speak back with definiteness. Each of the next 7 days is a forge, and you are the iron. You will be pressed. You will be shaped. You will burn away weakness and emerge with edge and purpose. Your old self will fight to survive. Let him die. He has delayed your rise long enough. You will hear this every morning, not as background noise, not as motivational entertainment, but as a law, a command, a ritual. Each day, each part, each instruction will rebuild the walls of your thinking. You are laying bricks of self-mastery. Do not skip a day. Do not question the method. Do not seek comfort. Seek change. This is not for spectators. This is not for the soft. This is for the man who is ready to look in the mirror and see fire instead of fear. If you follow, you will rise. If you drift, you will remain. You do not need a better life. You need a better self. And that self is not found. It is constructed. Let us speak clearly about the nature of this undertaking. This is a resurrection. To resurrect something implies that something has died. What must die is the drifter within you. The drifter is that part of your personality that seeks the path of least resistance. It is the voice that rationalizes failure. It is the habit of procrastination. It is the tendency to blame others for your lack of progress. This drifter has been running your life. He has been sitting in the captain's chair of your soul, steering you toward rocks and shallows. You have permitted this mutiny because it was easy. But the price of ease is the death of your potential. We are here to execute the drifter. We are here to install a master in the seat of command. This process will be uncomfortable. It will require you to stand guard at the door of your mind and reject every negative impulse, every lazy thought, and every fearful emotion. You must be vigilant. You must be ruthless. You must be the guardian of your own greatness. Consider the reality of your current position. You are surrounded by a world that profits from your distraction. The media, the markets, and the masses are all conspiring to keep you small. They want you anxious. They want you dependent. They want you confused. If you do not take control of your mind, they will control it for you. This is the law of mental occupation. Space in the mind cannot remain empty. If you do not fill it with definite purpose and positive thought, the weeds of negativity and the debris of the world will fill it automatically. You have been a passive recipient of the world's programming. You have allowed the opinions of others to become your reality. You have allowed the fears of the collective to become your personal nightmares. This stops today. You are reclaiming the territory of your mind. You are evicting the squatters of doubt and fear. You are putting up a sign that says, under new management. There is a concept known as the definite chief aim. It is the cornerstone of all achievement. Most men wander through life with no aim at all. They are like ships without rudders, circling aimlessly in the ocean, hoping to find a port but never steering toward one. They pray for wind, but they do not set their sails. You will no longer be one of them. In this 7-day protocol, you will define exactly what you want and you will demand it from life. But before you can demand riches from the world, you must demand discipline from yourself. You cannot conquer the world if you cannot conquer your own morning. You cannot lead men if you cannot lead your own thoughts. The external victory is merely a reflection of the internal victory. The man who conquers himself is greater than the man who conquers a city. You are here to conquer the self. Why 7 days? Because the mind requires a cycle of repetition to break old habits and establish new ones. 7 days is a cycle of creation. In 7 days, you can break the momentum of a lifetime of failure. In 7 days, you can establish a rhythm of success. This is not a magic trick. It is the application of psychological law. By immersing yourself in these principles for 1 week, you are subjecting your subconscious mind to a concentrated bombardment of truth. You are overwriting the old faulty code with a new operating system. You are engaging in a mental fast from negativity and a mental feast on power. You will not recognize yourself at the end of this week if you follow the instructions with exactness, but you must follow them. Partial obedience is total disobedience. You cannot pick and choose which laws to follow. You cannot say, I will do the affirmation, but I will skip the discipline. It is a system. It works as a whole, or it does not work at all. You must understand that the power to change comes from the power of decision. Most people never really decide. They wish, they hope, they prefer, but they never decide. The word decision comes from the Latin root, meaning to cut off. When you make a true decision, you cut off all other possibilities. You cut off the possibility of retreat. You cut off the possibility of failure. You burn the bridges behind you. You stand on the shore of your new life and you say, I will succeed or I will die here, but I will not go back. This is the mindset you must adopt. This is the level of commitment that moves mountains. The universe responds to decision. It ignores wishes, but it yields to commands. When you decide with every fiber of your being that you are changing the world, steps aside to let you pass, you must make that decision right now. You must decide that the old version of you is dead and buried. You must decide that you are willing to pay the price for the new version. The price is discipline. The price is focus. The price is the rejection of comfort. Are you willing to pay it? If you are not, then close this transmission and go back to your sleep. Go back to your drifting. Go back to the slow decay of regret. But if you are willing, then you are ready to be initiated into the fraternity of the few. The few who do, the few who build, the few who lead. The few who leave a mark on this earth that time cannot erase. You are joining the ranks of the masters. Men like Ford and Edison and Carnegie and Lincoln. They were not gods. They were men who took possession of their own minds. They were men who refused to drift. They were men who decided who they were and then forced the world to agree with them. You have the same equipment they had. You have the same mind. You have the same time. The only difference is how you use it. We are going to dismantle the structure of your limitations. We are going to examine the pillars of your life and reinforce them with steel. We will look at your morning routine. We will look at your identity. We will look at your decision-making. We will look at your faith. We will look at your mental diet. We will look at your discipline. And we will look at your speech. These are the 7 pillars of self-mastery. Each day we will focus on one pillar. We will strip away the rot, and we will rebuild with granite. You are the architect. I am merely the supplier of the blueprints. You must do the building. You must mix the mortar of faith with the bricks of action. You must lay the foundation with the sweat of your brow. Do not look for an easy way. The easy way is the path to the grave. Look for the true way, the strong way, the way of the master. You will feel resistance. Your old habits will scream for attention. Your old fears will try to terrify you into submission. Your old friends may even try to pull you back into the swamp of mediocrity. Let them try. You will be immovable. You will be unstoppable. You will be like a rock in the ocean of chaos. Let the waves crash. Let the winds blow. You will stand. And when the storm clears, you will still be standing stronger than before. This is the promise of self-mastery. It is peace in the midst of war. It is certainty in the midst of doubt. It is power in the midst of weakness. You are about to embark on a journey that requires total honesty. You must look in the mirror and tell the truth. You must admit where you have failed. You must admit where you have been lazy. You must admit where you have been cowardly. Only the truth can set you free. Denial is the chain that binds you. Confession is the key that unlocks the lock. Admit your drift so that you can end it. Admit your weakness so that you can build strength. There is no shame in realizing you have been asleep. The shame lies in realizing it and refusing to wake up. You are waking up now. Your eyes are opening. The fog is lifting. You are seeing the landscape of your life with new clarity. You see the wasted time. You see the missed opportunities. Do not mourn them. Use them. Use them as fuel for the fire that is igniting in your belly. Let your regret become resolve. Let your pain become power. This introduction is the call to arms. It is the blowing of the trumpet. It is the gathering of the troops. The troops are your thoughts. They have been scattered and disorganized. They have been fighting each other. Now you are calling them to order. You are lining them up. You are giving them a single objective. That objective is the reconstruction of yourself. You are the general. Your thoughts are the soldiers. Your will is the weapon. Your life is the battlefield. And victory is the only option. Do not underestimate the power of a mind made up. A mind made up has no limitations. A mind made up fears no obstacle. A mind made up attracts the resources it needs. A mind made up is a magnet for miracles. You are making up your mind right now. You are hardening your resolve. You are tightening your grip on the steering wheel of your life. Listen closely to the silence between my words. In that silence, you will hear the beating of your own heart. That heart has beaten millions of times to keep you alive for this moment. Do not dishonor it by wasting the life it sustains. Your heart is a drum beating a rhythm of potential. March to it. Do not march to the noise of the world. March to the rhythm of your own definite purpose. You have a purpose. You may not know it yet, but it is there waiting to be discovered. It is buried under the debris of fear and doubt. As we clear away the debris, your purpose will shine forth like a diamond in the rough. It will guide you, it will motivate you, it will give you a reason to endure the pain of change. The drifter has no purpose. He lives for the pleasure of the moment. He sacrifices his future for a little bit of comfort today. He eats the seed corn instead of planting it. And when winter comes, he starves. You will not starve. You will plant, you will work. You will sacrifice, and you will reap a harvest that will feed generations. You are building a legacy. You are breaking the generational chains of poverty and mediocrity. You are the one your ancestors waited for. You are the one who changes the trajectory of your bloodline. Do not take this lightly. This is sacred work. This is the work of a lifetime compressed into 7 days of intense focus. So I ask you one final time, are you ready? Are you truly ready to let go of the crutches and walk on your own 2 feet? Are you ready to stop blaming and start building? Are you ready to be the cause and not the effect? If you are, then steel yourself. Put on the armor of determination. Sharpen the sword of your will. The door is opening. The path is clearing. The drifter is dying. The master is rising. Let us begin the work of creation. Let us begin the resurrection of the man you were meant to be. The call has been sounded. The few have gathered. You are among them. Now prove it. Prove it not with words, but with the silent thunder of your transformation. The 7 days begin now. We begin at the genesis. We begin at the point of origin. Every single day of your life is a miniature lifetime. It is born in the morning, it matures in the afternoon, and it dies at night. If you cannot manage the birth of the day, you cannot manage the life of the day. And if you cannot manage the day, you cannot manage your destiny. Therefore, we must turn our total attention to the first 60 minutes after your eyes open. I call this hour the throne room of the morning. It is the hour where the king is crowned or the slave is shackled. It is the hour that determines whether you will rule your circumstances or whether your circumstances will rule you. Most men treat their mornings with casual indifference. They wake up at the last possible moment. They stumble out of bed in a fog. They immediately reach for a device to see what the world is doing. They rush, they react, they consume. They are defeated before they have even put on their shoes. You must understand that the way you wake up is the way you will live. If you wake up in a panic, you will live in a panic. If you wake up without a plan, you will live without a purpose. If you wake up reacting to the demands of others, you will live your life building the dreams of others. Day 1 of this resurrection is about reclaiming the territory of your morning. It is about establishing a sovereign zone where no one enters but you and your vision. Let us analyze the psychology of waking up. When you emerge from sleep, your brain is in a highly suggestible state. You are transitioning from the delta and theta waves of sleep into the alpha and beta waves of wakefulness. In this transition period, your subconscious mind is wide open. It is like soft, wet clay, waiting for an impression. Whatever you stamp into the clay in that first hour hardens and sets the mold for the rest of the day. If you stamp fear into it by reading bad news, the clay hardens into anxiety. If you stamp distraction into it by scrolling through social media, the clay hardens into a lack of focus. But if you stamp power, faith, and definiteness of purpose into that clay, you create a mold of success that the rest of the day must flow into. This is not just a habit, it is a biological and spiritual law. You are literally programming the operating system of your biocomputer for the next 23 hours. Most men program viruses into their own system every morning and then wonder why they crash by noon. You will no longer do this. From this day forward, the first hour is holy ground. It is forbidden territory to the outside world. It belongs exclusively to the reconstruction of yourself. You must view your morning not as a chore, but as a coronation. Imagine a king who wakes up. Does the king immediately run to the window to ask the peasants what he should do today? Does the king immediately ask his enemies for their opinion on his rule? No. The king wakes up. He composes himself. He dresses in his royal garments. He sits on his throne. He consults with his generals. He establishes the law for the kingdom. Only then does he open the gates to the public. You are the king of your life, but you have been acting like the peasant. You have been opening the gates of your mind before you have sat on the throne. You have been letting the chaos of the world muddy your carpets and steal your crown. This ends today. For the next 7 days, and hopefully for the rest of your life, you will institute a strict martial law over your morning. You will erect a wall of fire around the first 60 minutes. Nothing crosses that wall without your permission. No email, no text message, no news headline, no voice of complaint from a family member. You must fight for this silence, because in this silence you will find the voice of your own authority. The first principle of the throne room is the fast from distraction. The modern world is designed to addict you to noise. It wants your attention the moment you gain consciousness. It wants to sell you fear. It wants to sell you outrage. It wants to sell you inadequacy. If you touch your phone before you touch your purpose, you have lost the battle. You have surrendered your sovereignty to a silicon chip. You have told your subconscious mind that the world out there is more important than the power in here. You must make a physical commitment. Put your phone in another room. Buy an alarm clock. Do whatever is necessary to ensure that you do not engage with the electronic hive mind until you have established your own mind. When you wake up, you must realize that you are waking up in a mental war zone. The enemy is drift. The enemy is procrastination. The enemy is the old self that wants to stay comfortable. You must attack the morning. You must seize it by the throat. Once you are awake and you have secured the perimeter against distraction, you must enter the phase of sovereign silence. This is not just keeping your mouth shut. This is an active silence. It is a tuning of the instrument. Sit in a chair. Sit up straight with your spine erect like a rod of iron. Close your eyes and simply be. Do not try to meditate. Do not try to empty your mind. Just sit and feel the power of your own presence. Feel the breath entering your lungs. Feel the beat of your heart. In this silence, you are reconnecting with the infinite intelligence that sustains you. You are reminding yourself that you are not a machine made to work, you are a spirit made to create. Most men are terrified of silence because in the silence they hear their own regrets. They rush to turn on the radio or the television to drown out the voice of their conscience. But you must face the silence. You must conquer the silence. In that 10 minutes of stillness, you are gathering your forces. You are calming the waters of your emotions so that they can reflect the vision of your future clearly. If you cannot sit still for 10 minutes, you cannot rule a life. Mastery begins with the mastery of the body in stillness. After the silence comes the decree. A king rules by decree. He speaks and it is done. You must speak your world into existence every single morning. You must have your definite chief aim written down on a card. This is the statement of what you want, how you will get it, and when you will have it. You must read this aloud. Do not read it silently with your eyes. Read it with your voice. Engage your diaphragm. Speak it to the walls of your room. Speak it to the universe. I demand riches of life. I demand purpose. I demand liberty. When you speak aloud, you are engaging the principle of autosuggestion. You are giving a direct command to your subconscious mind. You are giving the captain of the ship his orders for the day. If you do not give the order, the ship will drift. But when you speak with authority, the subconscious snaps to attention. It says, "Yes, sir. We are going to acquire riches today. We are going to build the business today." You must put emotion into your voice. Do not mumble like a defeated man. Speak like a man who has already won and is merely announcing the victory. This vibration of sound sets the tone for your entire nervous system. It wakes up your cells. It prepares you for action. Following the decree, you must engage in aggressive gratitude. I do not mean a soft, passive gratitude where you simply say thank you for the nice weather. I mean a gratitude that is used as a weapon against fear. Fear and gratitude cannot coexist in the same mind at the same time. It is impossible. Therefore, you must flood your mind with gratitude to drive out any lingering fear or doubt. Thank the universe for the air in your lungs. Thank it for the strength in your muscles. Thank it for the opportunity to struggle, because the struggle makes you strong. Thank it for your enemies because they sharpen your sword. This aggressive gratitude shifts your chemical state. It moves you from a state of scarcity to a state of abundance. A man who is grateful is a man who is full, and a man who is full does not beg, he commands. This part of the ritual armors you against the petty annoyances of the day. When you are steeped in gratitude, a traffic jam cannot break you. A rude comment cannot pierce you. You are shielded by the high vibration of appreciation. Next, you must enter the phase of strategic review. A general does not send his troops into battle without a map. Yet most men walk into their day without a plan. They react to whatever comes up. They are firefighters putting out fires they should have prevented. You must not be a firefighter. You must be an architect. Look at your plan for the day. What are the 3 things that must be done to move you forward? Not the busy work, not the maintenance, the growth. What are the 3 strikes you will deliver to the rock of resistance? Identify them. Visualize yourself doing them. See the obstacles that might arise and see yourself overcoming them. This is mental rehearsal. By the time you actually encounter the task in the physical world, you have already performed it in the mental world. You have already won. This eliminates hesitation. This eliminates procrastination. You are preloading your success. You are paving the road before you drive on it. The drifter wonders what will happen today. The master decides what will happen today. Finally, you must declare your identity. This is the capstone of the morning ritual. You must tell yourself who you are before the world tries to label you. The world will try to label you as a consumer, a voter, a number, an employee. You must reject these labels. You must paste your own label on your forehead. Stand before the mirror. Look yourself in the eye and say, I am the man who acts on purpose. I am the man who finishes what he starts. I am a force of nature. I am disciplined. I am relentless. Use whatever words ignite your spirit, but speak them in the present tense. Do not say, I hope to be disciplined. Say, I am disciplined. The I am is the most powerful creative command in the universe. Whatever follows I am searches for you. If you say, I am tired, exhaustion searches for you. If you say, I am unstoppable, power searches for you. You are overwriting the old code of your identity. You are brainwashing yourself. Yes, I said brainwashing. Your brain is already being washed by the media and the advertisers. It is better that you wash it yourself with the soap of your own choosing. Cleanse it of weakness and dye it with the color of strength. This entire protocol from silence to declaration may take only 20 or 30 minutes, but these are not ordinary minutes. These are the minutes that leverage the entire day. This is the fulcrum upon which your destiny turns. Think of Henry Ford. He was a man of immense pressure and responsibility. Yet he was known for his calm. He was known for his ability to make decisions that cut through the confusion of lesser men. Do you think he rolled out of bed and immediately started checking the stock ticker? Do you think he let the panic of his investors dictate his morning? No. He isolated himself. He communed with his own definite purpose. He built a wall of silence around his mind so that when he did speak, his words carried the weight of gold. He understood that you cannot give what you do not have. If you do not have peace, you cannot give leadership. If you do not have certainty, you cannot give direction. You must generate these states within the throne room of the morning before you can export them to the marketplace. You must realize that your old self is waiting for you to fail. The old self is cunning. It knows your weaknesses. It knows that you like to hit the snooze button. It knows that you like to linger over coffee and waste time. It will whisper to you. It will say, you can skip the ritual just for today. You are tired. You worked hard yesterday. You deserve a break. You must recognize this voice as the enemy. It is the voice of drift. It is the siren song of mediocrity. You must answer it with a ruthless no. You must treat that voice with contempt. You do not negotiate with terrorists, and you do not negotiate with your own weakness. Every time you obey the ritual, you are killing the old man. You are starving him of oxygen. And every time you obey the ritual, you are feeding the new man. You are giving him strength. This is a war of attrition. Day by day, the old self grows weaker and the new self grows stronger until one day you wake up and the discipline is no longer a struggle. It is a delight. It is who you are. Consider the compounding effect of this practice. If you win the morning, you usually win the day. If you win 7 days in a row, you establish a week of momentum. If you stack 4 weeks together, you have a month of power. If you stack 12 months, you have a year of transformation. And a year of transformation can change the trajectory of your bloodline for generations. It all starts with the first hour. It all starts with the refusal to touch the phone. It all starts with the decision to sit in silence. It is a small hinge that swings a big door. Do not despise the simplicity of it. Do not look for a complicated secret. The secret is discipline applied to the morning. The secret is taking the helm of the ship before the storm begins. There is a spiritual dimension to this as well. When you wake up, you are essentially reborn. The sleep state is a little death. The waking state is a resurrection. You have been given a fresh slate. The mistakes of yesterday are gone unless you drag them into today. The failures of the past are dead unless you resurrect them with your memory. The morning is the time to forgive yourself. It is the time to wipe the slate clean. It is the time to say today is a new life. I will not contaminate it with the garbage of the past. This requires a mental act of severance. You must cut the cord to yesterday. In the throne room, there is no past. There is only the eternal now and the vision of the future. You are not the man who failed yesterday. You are the man who is determining to succeed today. This shift in perspective releases you from the heavy baggage of guilt and regret. It makes you light. It makes you fast. You must also consider the physical aspect. Your body is the vehicle of your mind. If the vehicle is sluggish, the mind will be sluggish. Part of your morning ritual must involve physical activation. It does not have to be a marathon, but you must move the blood. You must wake up the nervous system. Stretch. Breathe deep. Do push-ups. Do something to tell your biology that it is time to hunt. The predator wakes up ready. The prey wakes up hiding. You are the predator of opportunity. Your physical state drives your mental state. You cannot declare, I am a man of power, while slumped in a chair with shallow breath. Stand up. Take up space. Let your physiology scream dominion. This signals to your subconscious that you are ready for war. I want you to visualize the alternative. Look at the man who does not do this. Look at the man who hits snooze 3 times. He wakes up late. He is already stressed. He grabs his phone and sees a problem at work. His cortisol spikes. He sees a political post that makes him angry. His adrenaline spikes. He rushes to get dressed. He skips breakfast or eats garbage. He yells at his children because he is on edge. He gets in his car and curses the traffic. By the time he arrives at his work, he is depleted. He has no creative energy left. He is just a reactive machine trying to survive until 5:00 p.m. He is a slave. He is a slave to his impulses. He is a slave to his environment. He is a slave to the lack of discipline. Do you want to be that man? Is that the life you were promised? No. You were promised dominion. But dominion is not a gift. It is a conquest. And the conquest begins when the alarm goes off. You must build a fortress around this hour. You must defend it with your life. Tell your family, this is my time. Do not disturb me. Tell your employer I am not available until 8:00 a.m. Set boundaries. If you do not respect your time, no one else will. If you do not value your mind, no one else will. You are teaching the world how to treat you by how you treat yourself in the morning. If you treat yourself like a priority, the world will treat you like a priority. If you treat yourself like an afterthought, the world will treat you like a doormat. The throne room is where you establish your value. It is where you put on the crown. A king does not run out of the palace in his pajamas. He prepares. He invests in himself first. This is your command for day 1. Prepare tonight for tomorrow morning. Lay out your clothes. Write down your plan. Put your phone in the kitchen. Set your alarm, and when it rings, do not think. Do not negotiate. Do not bargain. Rise. Rise like a dead man coming back to life. Rise with a vengeance. Go to your chair. Sit in the silence. Speak the decree. Feel the gratitude. Review the plan. Declare the identity. And then when the hour is up, open the door and walk out into the world, not as a victim, but as a victor. Walk out as a man who has already won the most important battle of the day, the battle for his own mind. You will feel resistance. Your body will ache for comfort. Your mind will invent 1,000 excuses why you should skip it just this once. I'm too tired. I have too much to do. This is silly. Recognize these voices. They are the voices of the drifter. They are the voices of the mediocrity you are trying to escape. Do not listen. Override them with action. Action is the cure for doubt. Motion is the cure for fear. Just move. Just do the next thing. Sit in the chair. Open your mouth. Speak the words. Even if you don't feel it, do it. The feeling will follow the action. You are building a machine of success, and machines do not rely on feelings. They rely on mechanics. These are the mechanics of mastery. So I ask you, are you ready to take the throne? Are you ready to rule? Or will you continue to serve the chaos? The choice is made the moment your eyes open. Tomorrow morning the test begins. The world will be waiting to see who shows up. Will it be the king or will it be the slave? I believe it will be the king. I believe you have the strength to do this. But my belief does not matter. Only your belief matters. And your belief is proven by your behavior. Do not tell me you are ready. Show me. Show me by your silence. Show me by your speech. Show me by your structure. The throne room awaits. Take your seat. We have secured the morning. We have established the throne room. Now we must turn our attention to the person who sits on that throne. Who are you? I am not asking for your name. I am not asking for your job title. I am asking for the deep internal structure of your self-concept. Most men are not living, they are repeating. They are waking up each day and putting on the same worn-out costume of their past identity. They walk the way they have always walked. They speak the way they have always spoken. They react to challenges with the same fear and hesitation they learned 10 years ago. They are actors trapped in a play they did not write, performing a role they do not like. They say, "This is just who I am." That is the greatest lie ever told. That is not who you are. That is who you have practiced being. That is the character you have rehearsed. But a rehearsal can be stopped. A script can be rewritten. And a new character can be born. Day 2 is about realizing that you are not the actor, you are the playwright. You are the architect of identity. You must understand that your identity is not fixed in stone. It is not genetic code carved into your DNA. It is a collection of beliefs, habits, and stories that you have accepted as true. You were trained to be average. Society trained you to shrink. School trained you to obey without question. Failure trained you to doubt your own power. Your parents, even with the best intentions, may have trained you to seek security over greatness. You absorbed these lessons like a sponge absorbs water. And now you squeeze that sponge, and fear comes out. You squeeze it and hesitation comes out. But the sponge can be cleaned, it can be dried out and filled with a new substance. You can retrain yourself. You can deprogram the slave mentality and install the master mentality. But it requires a deliberate and sometimes violent act of will. You must be willing to kill the old self to give birth to the new. Let us look at the mechanics of identity. Identity is simply a cluster of thoughts that have been repeated so often they have hardened into beliefs. I am shy. I am not good with money. I am not a leader. These are not facts. These are calcified thoughts. To break them, you must introduce a new thought and repeat it with such intensity and frequency that it shatters the old calcification. This is where the principle of acting as if comes into play. It is not about being fake. It is about being a prophet of your own future. You must begin to act like the man you want to be, long before you have the evidence that you are him. You must walk his walk before you have his shoes. You must speak his language before you have his audience. Think of Andrew Carnegie. He did not wait until he had millions of dollars to think like a steel magnate. He trained his mind to think in terms of scale, value, and empire when he was working for pennies. He refined his speech. He educated himself. He carried himself with a dignity that demanded respect even when his pockets were empty. He built the internal structure of a king, and the external world had no choice but to fill that structure with gold. The world is a mirror. It reflects back to you exactly what you project. If you project, I am a victim, the world will give you oppressors. If you project, I am a master, the world will give you opportunities. You must change the reflection by changing the object in front of the mirror. That object is you. For the next 7 days, and indeed for the rest of your life, you are going to engage in the deliberate construction of a new persona. This is not deception. This is creation. Every great man in history has done this. Napoleon Bonaparte was a poor Corsican artillery officer who decided he was an emperor. He practiced the look. He practiced the stance. He practiced the tone of voice. He convinced himself so thoroughly that he convinced an entire nation. Abraham Lincoln was a backwoods lawyer who decided he was the savior of the Union. He molded his character through study and discipline until he fit the role of the president. You must stop waiting to be discovered and start discovering yourself. You must start sculpting the clay of your own personality. How do we do this? We start with the physical. The body leads the mind. You cannot feel like a king if you are slumped in a chair like a sack of potatoes. You cannot feel powerful if you are shuffling your feet and looking at the ground. Change your physiology, and you change your psychology immediately. Stand up, right now. Pull your shoulders back. Lift your chin. Breathe deeply into your chest. Walk across the room with a stride that eats up the floor. Do you feel the shift? That is the beginning of the new identity. You must wear this posture like a uniform. When you walk into a room, enter as if you own it. Not with arrogance, but with ownership. Radiate a sense of calm authority. People will sense the change in your vibration. They will step aside. They will listen. You are training them how to treat you by how you carry yourself. Next, we move to the verbal. Your words are the chisels you use to sculpt your reality. Most men use their words to destroy themselves. They say, I can't. It's too hard. I'm tired. Stop it. Eliminate the vocabulary of weakness from your tongue. Never speak against yourself. Never disparage your own potential. Even in jest, the subconscious mind has no sense of humor. If you say, I'm an idiot, it files that away as a fact. Start speaking the language of the new man. Use words like, I will, I can, I am building, I am solving. Speak with precision. Do not ramble. A man of power says what he means and means what he says. His yes is yes and his no is no. Silence is also a tool of the architect. Learn to be comfortable with silence. It projects confidence. The insecure man babbles to fill the void. The master rests in the void. Now we address the mental image. You must have a clear picture of the man you are becoming. What does he look like? How does he dress? How does he handle conflict? Does he panic? No. He assesses. He plans. He executes. You must visualize this avatar of your higher self every morning. See him handling the challenges of your day with grace and power. And then here is the key. Step into him, merge with him. When a problem arises, pause and ask, what would the new man do? Then do that, even if it feels uncomfortable, especially if it feels uncomfortable. Discomfort is the feeling of growth. It is the feeling of the old shell cracking so the new form can emerge. Do not run from the discomfort. Lean into it. It is the growing pain of greatness. You must also curate your environment. Your identity is shaped by what you surround yourself with. If you live in a pigsty, you will think like a pig. Clean your room. Organize your desk. Create an environment of order. Order is the first law of heaven, and it is the first law of the successful mind. Look at your clothes. Do they reflect the man you are becoming? If not, change them. You do not need expensive clothes, but you need clothes that fit clothes, that are clean clothes, that make you feel sharp. Dress for the position you want, not the position you have. This is not vanity. This is strategy. You are signaling to your own subconscious that you are worthy of respect. Who are your associates? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you hang around with drifters, complainers, and victims, you will remain a drifter, a complainer, and a victim. It is a law of social gravity. You must have the courage to audit your circle. Distance yourself from those who drain your energy. Seek out those who inspire you. If you cannot find them in person, find them in books. Make mentors of the dead. Read the biographies of great men until their thoughts become your thoughts. Let their spirit infuse your spirit. You are building a mental board of advisors. Let us speak of the imposter syndrome. You will feel like a fraud. When you start acting confident, when you are terrified, you will feel like a liar. Good. That means you are doing it right. You are supposed to feel like an imposter because you are impersonating your future self. You are stretching into a mold that you have not yet filled. But if you persist, if you keep acting the part, eventually the feelings will follow. The mask will become the face. The pretense will become the reality. Do not let the feeling of fraudulence stop you. It is just the old ego trying to drag you back to the safety of the known. Ignore it. Keep walking. Keep speaking. Keep building. You must become ruthless with your own internal monologue. We all have a voice in our head that narrates our life. For most men, that narrator is a critic. It is a bully. It points out every flaw, every mistake, every danger. You must fire that narrator. You must hire a new one. You must become your own hype man, your own coach. When you make a mistake, the old narrator says, "You see, you're a failure." The new narrator says, "Good. We learned what doesn't work. Now we adjust and move forward." You must rewrite the script of your inner dialogue. You must praise yourself for small victories. You must encourage yourself when the road gets hard. No one else is going to do it for you. You must be your own best friend and your own fiercest defender. This process of architectural construction requires daily maintenance. You cannot build the identity on Monday and expect it to stand on Friday without reinforcement. Every morning, you must lay the bricks again. Every morning, you must look in the mirror and declare, "I am the architect." You must recommit to the character. It is like bathing. You don't bathe once and stay clean forever. You bathe daily. You must bathe your mind in the new identity daily. You must wash off the dust of doubt and the grime of mediocrity. Consider the concept of standard. Your life is a reflection of your standards. What you tolerate, you get. If you tolerate disrespect, you will be disrespected. If you tolerate laziness in yourself, you will be poor. The architect raises the standard. He draws a line in the sand and says, "Below this line, I will not go." He does not accept half efforts from himself. He does not accept excuses. He holds himself to a code of excellence even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. Integrity is the steel reinforcement in the concrete of your character. Without it, the building will collapse under the first storm. Be a man of your word. If you say you will do something, do it. If you make a promise to yourself, keep it. This builds self-trust, and self-trust is the foundation of self-confidence. You are building a fortress of solitude and strength. Inside this fortress, you are safe from the opinions of others. The drifter is blown about by every wind of criticism. He is devastated by a stray comment. The architect is immune. He knows who he is. He has built his identity on the rock of his own decision, not on the sand of public approval. When you know who you are, the world cannot tell you who you are not. You become unshakable. You become dangerous to the status quo because you cannot be manipulated. Let us practice the art of revision. This is a powerful tool. At the end of the day, review your actions. Look at the moments where you slipped back into the old self. Maybe you lost your temper. Maybe you hesitated. Do not beat yourself up. Simply revise the scene in your imagination. Replay it as it should have happened. See yourself handling the situation with the poise and power of the new man. By doing this, you are neutralizing the negative memory and implanting a corrective blueprint for the next time. You are editing the film of your life. You are refusing to accept the bad take. You are demanding a retake in the theater of your mind. This week is a boot camp for your soul. You are stripping away the soft layers of the drifter. You are burning off the fat of complacency. You are revealing the hard muscle of the master. It will hurt. Growth always hurts. But the pain of growth is sweet compared to the pain of regret. Do not wish for it to be easier. Wish for you to be better. And then make yourself better. Make yourself better by the way you stand, by the way you speak, by the way you think. Remember that identity is a decision, not a discovery. You do not go out into the mountains to find yourself. You stay right here and create yourself. You are the artist and you are the marble. Strike the hammer. Chip away the excess. Reveal the statue that has been waiting inside the block of stone. The world is waiting to see what you will reveal. Do not disappoint them. And more importantly, do not disappoint yourself. Every time you choose the difficult path over the easy path, you are adding a brick to the structure. Every time you choose silence over noise, you are adding a brick. Every time you choose action over delay, you are adding a brick. Build it high. Build it strong. Build it to last. You are building a monument to human potential. You are proving what is possible when a man decides to take full possession of his own mind. Do not look back at the old you with longing. He was comfortable, but he was dying. He was safe, but he was a prisoner. Say goodbye to him. Bury him with honor, but bury him deep. He cannot go where you are going. The new land requires a new man, a man of iron, a man of fire, a man of vision. That man is you. He has always been you. He was just waiting for you to give him permission to breathe. Give him breath today. Give him life today. As you go through this day, catch yourself. Catch yourself when you slump. Catch yourself when you mumble. Catch yourself when you doubt. And instantly correct. Snap back into the frame. No, that is not who I am. This is who I am. This constant correction is the work. It is the labor of the architect. It is tedious. It is relentless. But it is the only way to build a skyscraper that scrapes the sky. You are not alone in this. The greats of history are watching you. They are cheering you on. They know the struggle. They know the doubt. But they also know the victory. They know the feeling of standing on the summit and looking down at the clouds. Keep climbing. The air is thinner up here, but the view is magnificent. The architect does not stop until the building is complete. And your building is never truly complete. It is a lifetime project. But the foundation is laid this week. The structure rises this week. So I say to you, stand tall, speak loud, walk fast. The world will get out of your way. The world respects a man who knows where he is going. The drifter wanders and the world pushes him around. The master walks and the world opens a path. Be the master. Be the architect. Be the author. Write your story with a pen of steel on the pages of time. And let the first chapter begin today. I am the architect of my character. I walk as the man I am becoming, not the one I was trained to be. Say it, feel it, be it. The blueprint is in your hands. The tools are at your feet. The time is now. Build. We have established the throne room of the morning, and we have begun the architecture of a new identity. Now we arrive at the third gate. This is the gate where most men stop. This is the gate where the vast majority of dreams die a quiet and shameful death. It is the gate of decision. If you look closely at the graveyard of human potential, you will see that the cause of death is rarely a lack of talent or a lack of opportunity or even a lack of intelligence. The cause of death is almost always indecision. Indecision is the seedling of fear. It is the silent assassin of purpose. It enters your mind disguised as caution or prudence. It tells you that you need more time to think. It tells you that you need more information. It tells you that you need to consult with others. But these are lies. Indecision is simply a refusal to take ownership of your life. It is a spiritual disease that rots the will from the inside out. Today, we are going to cure that disease. We are going to place in your hand a weapon so powerful that it can sever the chains of your past in a single stroke. That weapon is the sword of decision. You must understand the etymology of the word decision to truly grasp its power. It comes from the Latin root decidere, which literally means to cut off. When you make a true decision, you are not just selecting an option, you are surgically removing all other options. You are cutting off the possibility of retreat. You are cutting off the possibility of failure. You are cutting off the bridge behind you so that there is only one way to go, and that is forward. Most men never make true decisions. They make wishes. They make preferences. They say, I would like to be rich, or I hope to be healthy. But they never cut off the alternative. They always keep a back door open, just in case things get hard. And because they keep a back door open, they eventually use it. The moment the pressure mounts, the moment the resistance appears, they retreat to the safety of their old life. The master does not retreat because he has destroyed the path of retreat. He has decided. Indecision is the primary cause of what Napoleon Hill called drifting. The drifter is a man who lets his environment make his decisions for him. He waits to see what the economy will do. He waits to see what his boss will do. He waits to see what his wife will do. He is a leaf blowing in the wind. He has no root, and therefore he has no fruit. You must realize that procrastination, which is the child of indecision, is the most dangerous habit a man can form. It is the habit of stealing from your own future. Every time you say, I will do it tomorrow, you are weakening your character. You are training your subconscious mind that your word means nothing. You are training yourself to be a liar. And a man who lies to himself can never build a fortune because wealth requires truth and accuracy. We are living in an age of paralysis by analysis. You have access to all the information in the world, and this has made you weak. You think that if you just read one more review or watch one more video or get one more opinion, you will be ready. But you will never be ready. Readiness is a myth. There is only the leap. You are standing on the edge of a cliff, and you are waiting for a bridge to appear. But the bridge only appears after you jump. Decision is the jump. It is the act of faith that forces the universe to catch you. When you decide with absolute finality that you are going to do a thing, the world steps aside to let you pass. But when you hesitate, the world throws obstacles in your path. The universe hates a vacuum, and indecision creates a vacuum of leadership. If you do not lead your life, someone else will. Let us look at the psychology of the successful man versus the unsuccessful man. Analysis of over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure disclosed the fact that lack of decision was near the head of the list of the 30 major causes of failure. This is no mere theory, it is a fact. Successful men in every calling reach decisions quickly and change them slowly if they change them at all. Unsuccessful men reach decisions very slowly if at all and change them frequently and quickly. This is the formula. Speed of decision is the hallmark of the leader. Why? Because speed indicates certainty. It indicates that you trust your own judgment. It indicates that you are in tune with your definite chief aim. When you know where you are going, you do not need to stop at every crossroad to ask for directions. You turn the wheel and you drive. Consider the titan of industry, Charles Schwab. He was not a man of superior technical knowledge. He knew less about the chemistry of steel than the engineers who worked for him. But he was paid a salary that was astronomical for his time. Why? Because of his ability to decide. When the board of directors was confused, when the experts were arguing, when the path was covered in fog, Schwab would step forward and cut the knot. He would say, "We are doing this, and we are doing it now." He understood that a good decision executed violently now is better than a perfect decision executed next week. He understood that momentum is the lifeblood of business and life. Indecision kills momentum. It stalls the engine. It creates doubt in the ranks. You must become a Charles Schwab in your own life. You must stop holding board meetings in your head and start issuing executive orders. You have likely been trained to seek validation. This is a weakness. You want to ask your friends, your family, and your peers what they think before you move. You are polling the audience, but the audience does not know your destiny. The audience is full of drifters who are terrified of their own shadows. Why would you ask a man who has never built anything how to build a castle? Why would you ask a man who is broke how to get rich? When you ask for opinions, you are inviting the ghosts of fear to sit at your table. Everyone has an opinion, and usually it is worth exactly what you paid for it, which is nothing. Keep your own counsel. Make your own decisions. If you succeed, it is your victory. If you fail, it is your lesson. In either case, you grow. But if you follow the advice of another and fail, you learn nothing but bitterness. The sword of decision requires a strong arm to wield it. That arm is your will. The will is the executive faculty of the mind. It is the power that forces the other faculties to align. When you decide, you are essentially commanding your imagination, your emotions, and your reason to get in line. Before the decision, your mind is a riot of conflicting impulses. Your fear says, stop. Your ambition says, go. Your laziness says, wait. Your duty says, move. You are torn apart. This is the state of misery that most men live in. They are in a constant civil war. Decision ends the war. When you decide, I am doing this, the internal debate stops. The soldiers line up. The energy that was being wasted on conflict is now focused like a laser beam on execution. This brings a tremendous sense of peace. There is relief in decision. Even a hard decision is better than no decision. For the next 24 hours and for the next 7 days, you are going to practice the drill of decisive action. You are going to become a man of clean cuts. You are going to stop using the phrase, I'll think about it. That phrase is a poison. It is a delay tactic. Unless you have a specific time set aside to think and a specific criteria for making the decision, I'll think about it just means I am afraid to decide. Instead, you will either say yes or you will say no, and you will say it with finality. You will practice on the small things first. When you look at a menu order within 60 seconds, when you need to send an email, write it and hit send. When you need to clean a room, stand up and do it. You are training the muscle of immediacy. You are shortening the lag time between thought and action. There is a concept in military strategy called the OODA loop. Observe, orient, decide, act. The pilot who can cycle through this loop faster than his enemy wins the dogfight. The pilot who hesitates dies. Life is a dogfight. The marketplace is a battlefield. If you are slow to decide, you will be outmaneuvered by men who are fast. Money loves speed. Opportunity loves speed. If you see a chance and you hesitate, it will be gone by the time you make up your mind. You must train your instincts to be sharp. You must trust your gut. Your subconscious mind processes information millions of times faster than your conscious mind. That hunch you feel is often a calculated conclusion from your supercomputer. Trust it. Act on it. Verify it later if you must, but do not ignore the impulse to advance. Let us address the fear of wrong decisions. This is what paralyzes you. You are afraid of making a mistake. You are afraid of looking foolish. Let me tell you a secret. There are no wrong decisions. There are only decisions and consequences. If you make a decision and it leads to a result you did not want, you have gained data. You have gained experience. You can now make a new decision based on better information. You are moving forward. But if you make no decision, you gain nothing. You stand still. You rot. A wrong decision is better than indecision, because a wrong decision creates movement, and movement creates life. You can steer a moving car, but you cannot steer a parked car. Get the car moving. If you are going the wrong way, you will find out quickly and you can turn the wheel. But if you sit in the driveway terrified of taking a wrong turn, you will never go anywhere. You must also learn to burn your bridges. This is an ancient strategy of warfare. When a general landed his troops on enemy soil, he would order the ships to be burned. As the ships went up in flames, the soldiers realized there was no retreat. They could not go home. They had to fight and win or they would die. This necessity created a ferocity that could not be defeated. You must create this necessity in your own life. When you set a goal, do not leave yourself a way out. Do not have a plan B. Plan B is a safety net for failure. Plan B tells your subconscious, I don't really believe in plan A, commit fully. Tell the world what you are going to do. Put your reputation on the line. Put your money on the line. Force yourself into a corner where you have to fight like a lion to survive. The pressure will turn your coal into diamonds. Day 3 is about hardening your resolve. It is about becoming the kind of man who cannot be swayed by the opinions of others. You must develop an immunity to criticism. When you start making bold decisions, people will criticize you. They will tell you that you are crazy. They will tell you to be realistic. They will tell you to slow down. Ignore them. They are drifters. They are trying to pull you back into the herd. A lion does not concern himself with the opinions of sheep. You are becoming a lion. Your decisions are your roar. Let them hear you. Let them feel the vibration of a man who knows what he wants and is willing to pay the price to get it. Here is your assignment for day 3. You are to identify one major piece of unfinished business in your life. One thing that you have been procrastinating on. One decision that is hanging over your head like a dark cloud. It might be a financial decision. It might be a difficult conversation you need to have with a spouse or a business partner. It might be the decision to quit a bad habit. It might be the decision to start a new project. You know what it is. It has been draining your energy for weeks or months. Today, before the sun goes down, you are going to make that decision. You are going to take the sword and cut the knot. You are going to take the action that makes the decision real. If you need to make a call, make it. If you need to sign a paper, sign it. If you need to throw something away, throw it away. Do not sleep tonight until that weight is off your shoulders. When you do this, you will feel a surge of power. You will feel a release of energy that was trapped in the limbo of indecision. You will feel lighter. You will feel stronger. This is the feeling of self-mastery. And once you taste it, you will never want to go back to the slavery of hesitation. You will become addicted to the clarity of action. You will start looking for other decisions to make. You will become a machine of progress. This is how empires are built. One decision at a time. One brick at a time. One cut at a time. You must also understand that decision is a form of prayer. When you decide, you are telling the infinite intelligence what you desire. You are placing an order with the cosmic kitchen. If you order a steak and then 5 minutes later you say, wait, bring me fish, and then 5 minutes later you say, no, I want chicken, the chef will never bring you anything. He will wait until you make up your mind. The universe is waiting for you to make up your mind. It has infinite resources ready to dispatch to your aid, but it cannot help a man who does not know what he wants. Be definite, be specific, and be final. When you place the order, sit back and expect it to arrive. Do not doubt, do not waver. The decision is the seed, faith is the water, action is the sun, the harvest is inevitable. Let us speak of the quality of the cut. A dull knife hacks in tears. A sharp knife slices cleanly. You want your decisions to be clean. Do not leave loose ends. Do not say, I will try to quit smoking. That is a dull cut. Say, I am a non-smoker. That is a sharp cut. Throw the cigarettes away. Never touch them again. Do not say, I will try to save money. Say, I will save 20% of my income starting today. Set up the automatic transfer. Make it real. The sharpness of the decision determines the quality of the result. Vague decisions produce vague results. Definite decisions produce definite results. Sharpen your sword. Stop hacking at your life and start sculpting it. For the next 7 days, you will adopt a policy of zero tolerance for drift. If you catch yourself drifting, snap out of it. If you catch yourself staring at a wall, wondering what to do, pick a task and do it. Any task. Movement creates clarity. Action cures fear. Even if you just organize your desk or take out the trash, do it with decisiveness. Train your body to move when your mind commands. Do not let there be a gap between the thought and the deed. Close the gap. The master lives in the present moment. He acts in the now. The drifter lives in the future or the past. He acts in the never. Be the master. The sword of decision is also a defensive weapon. It protects your time. People will try to steal your time. They will ask you for meetings that are pointless. They will ask you for favors that do not align with your purpose. You must use your sword to say no. A clean no is better than a vague maybe. No, I cannot do that. No, that does not fit my schedule. No, I am focused on my chief aim. Do not apologize. Do not make excuses. Just decide. When you value your time, others will value it too. When you are decisive about your boundaries, people will respect them. You teach people how to treat you by what you decide to accept. Decide to accept only the best. Decide to accept only what serves your mission. Think of the compounding effect of 7 days of decisive action. If you make one bold decision today and act on it, you will be in a different place tomorrow. Then you make another and another. By the end of the week, you will have moved mountains that have been standing in your way for years. You will have momentum. You will have a track record of victory. Your confidence will be sky high. You will look in the mirror and see a man of action, not a man of words. This is the resurrection we are talking about. The death of the talker and the birth of the doer. Do not underestimate the difficulty of this day. Your old habits will fight back. Your fear will scream. Your logic will try to talk you out of it. It will say, but what if? But maybe later. But I'm not ready. Recognize these voices as the enemy. They are the guards of the prison you are trying to escape. Strike them down with your sword. Say silence. I have decided. Use your will to override your programming. This is what it means to be a man. To act in spite of fear. To move in spite of doubt. To lead yourself when no one else is leading you. Start your day with the affirmation of decision. Stand in your throne room and declare, I am a man of decision. I act with speed and certainty. I do not wait. I do not waver. I gain ground while others sleep. Say it until you believe it. Say it until your blood runs hot. Then go out and find something to decide. Look for the knots in your life and cut them. Look for the weeds and pull them. Look for the open doors and walk through them. The world is fluid. It is malleable. It takes the shape of the strongest will present. If you are indecisive, you will be shaped by the world. If you are decisive, you will shape the world. The clay is waiting for the potter. The iron is waiting for the blacksmith. The life you want is waiting for the decision that creates it. Do not keep it waiting any longer. The sword is in your hand. It is heavy. It is sharp. It is dangerous. But it is yours. Swing it. Cut the ties to the past. Cut the ties to mediocrity. Cut the ties to fear. Stand free. Stand bold. Stand decisive. Today is the day you stop trying and start doing. Today is the day you stop wishing and start willing. Today is day 3, the day of the sword. Wield it with honor. Wield it with power. And never put it down again. Say it aloud one last time to seal it in your nervous system. I decide. I act. I do not wait. I gain ground while others waver. Now go and prove it. Find the decision. Make the cut. And do not look back. You have now claimed the sword of decision. You have cut the ties to your past. But a sword is heavy, and the path of the master is steep. No man climbs the mountain alone. You need allies. You need a brotherhood of builders who are also wielding their swords against the drift. Before we teach you how to put faith in motion, I ask you to make a mark of your commitment right now. If you are determined to finish these 7 days, if you refuse to go back to the life of hesitation, then strike the like button on this video. Consider it your signature on the contract of your new life. And if you have not yet aligned yourself with this frequency, subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you are planting a flag. You are telling the algorithm of your own life that you demand wisdom, not distraction. Join us. Ring the bell to guard your gates against missing the next lesson. Now, let us learn how to make your faith move mountains. We have cleared the morning. We have designed the identity. We have swung the sword of decision. Now we arrive at the engine of the entire operation. We arrive at the force that moves mountains and bridges the gap between the invisible realm of thought and the visible realm of matter. Today we speak of faith, but let me be absolutely clear. I am not speaking of the passive, weak, wishful thinking that many men call faith. I am not speaking of sitting in a chair and hoping for a better result. That is not faith, that is delusion. True faith is a dynamic force. It is kinetic. It is muscular. It is action in the absence of proof. It is the audacity to move before the way is clear. It is the courage to walk before the ground appears beneath your feet. Day 4 is about taking the internal decision you made yesterday and translating it into external motion. It is about the law of faith in motion. Most men live their lives in a waiting room. They are waiting to feel ready. They are waiting to feel confident. They are waiting to feel rich before they act rich. They are waiting to feel powerful before they speak with power. This waiting room is a prison cell with an unlocked door. You stay there because you have bought into the lie that feelings must precede actions. You believe that you must feel the motivation before you do the work. This is the exact opposite of the truth. The law of the mind states that emotion follows motion. You do not sing because you are happy. You are happy because you sing. You do not run because you feel energetic. You feel energetic because you run. And you do not succeed because you feel successful. You feel successful because you act successful. You must reverse the arrow of causality. You must stop waiting for the feeling and start generating the action that produces the feeling. This brings us to the great law of acting as if. This is not about being fake. It is not about lying to others. It is about telling the truth to your future self. It is about rehearsing the reality you intend to create. The subconscious mind is a literal mechanism. It does not understand time. It does not know the difference between a memory of the past and a rehearsal of the future. It relies entirely on the signals you send it through your body. If you walk with your head down, your shoulders slumped, and your feet shuffling, you are sending a clear signal to your subconscious. You are saying, I am defeated, I am unworthy, I am afraid. And the subconscious obediently lowers your serotonin levels, creates feelings of anxiety, and attracts experiences of defeat. You are broadcasting the frequency of a victim. But if you stand tall with your spine, erect your chest open, and your head high, you send a different signal. You say, I am victorious, I am capable, I am a master. And the subconscious responds by flooding your system with the chemistry of confidence. It alerts your reticular activating system to look for opportunities. It changes the timbre of your voice. It changes the way people react to you. You cannot think your way into a new way of acting, but you can act your way into a new way of thinking. You must use your body to train your mind. You must use your physical presence to command your psychological state. Consider the actor who plays a king. Before he steps onto the stage, he is just a man with a mortgage and worries like anyone else. But the moment he steps into the light, he changes his posture. He slows his breathing. He deepens his voice. He adopts the mannerisms of royalty. He acts as if he rules the kingdom. And a strange thing happens. He begins to feel royal. The audience believes him because he believes himself. You are the actor in the play of your life. But you have been playing the role of the extra, the victim, or the drifter. It is time to audit for the lead role. It is time to step onto the stage of your day and play the role of the master. You must walk as if the gold is already in the bank. You must speak as if the deal is already signed. You must move as if the victory is inevitable. This principle was understood by every great conqueror and creator. Thomas Edison did not wait for the light bulb to work before he acted like an inventor. He acted like an inventor, and that action forced the light bulb to manifest. He moved with certainty in the face of failure. He treated his experiments not as mistakes but as steps. His faith was not a feeling, it was a laboratory of motion. He kept moving. He kept building. He kept testing. Faith is movement. Doubt is paralysis. If you are moving, you are in faith. If you are stopped, you are in fear. It is that simple. You must keep the bicycle moving, or you will fall. Let us break down the mechanics of faith in motion. It starts with your walk. How do you walk? Do you meander? Do you drift? Do you step aside for everyone else? From this day forward, you will walk with a destination pace. You will walk faster than the crowd. You will walk with a rhythm of purpose. When you walk down the street, pick a point in the distance and walk straight toward it. Do not deviate. This physical act trains your mind to focus on a goal and move toward it without distraction. When you walk into a room, do not hesitate in the doorway. Walk all the way in. Take up space. Your walk tells the world and your own soul whether you are a predator or prey. The drifter shuffles. The master strides. Adopt the stride of the master. Next, consider your voice. Your voice is the instrument of your will. Most men speak from their throats with a thin, weak tone that asks for permission. They end their sentences with a question mark, seeking validation. I think this is a good idea? No. You must speak from your diaphragm. You must speak from the center of your power. Lower your pitch. Slow your tempo. Remove the filler words. Get rid of the ums and the ahs and the maybes. Silence is better than noise. Speak only when you have something to say, and say it with finality. When you speak, let your words land like bricks, solid, heavy, real. When you speak with authority, your subconscious assumes you must be an authority, and it begins to reorganize your self-image to match the sound of your voice. Now look at your dress. This is not about vanity, it is about packaging. You are the product. How are you packaged? If you look sloppy, you feel sloppy. If you look sharp, you feel sharp. It is impossible to feel like a millionaire while wearing the clothes of a pauper. You do not need expensive clothes, but you need deliberate clothes. Dress one level above your current station. If you are a worker, dress like a manager. If you are a manager, dress like an owner. When you catch a glimpse of yourself in a shop window, you should see the man you intend to become, not the man you used to be. This visual feedback loop is powerful. It constantly reinforces the new identity. You are signaling to the universe that you are ready for the next level. This practice of acting as if applies to your finances as well. I am not telling you to spend money you do not have. That is foolishness. I am telling you to treat the money you do have with the respect of a wealthy man. A poor man crumbles his bills in his pocket. A wealthy man organizes them. A poor man avoids looking at his bank account out of fear. A wealthy man looks at it daily with stewardship. A poor man talks about how expensive everything is. A wealthy man talks about the value of things. Start acting like a steward of great wealth, even if you only have $10. Organize it, respect it, direct it. When you act like a money master, money feels welcome in your life. When you act like a money victim, money flees from you. Faith in motion means managing the seed before you manage the harvest. We must also address the concept of the gap. There is a gap between where you are and where you want to be. This gap is uncomfortable. It is painful. It causes cognitive dissonance. Your senses tell you you are poor, but your vision tells you you are rich. Most men cannot handle this tension. They snap back to reality because it is easier to be honestly poor than to be faithfully rich. But you must hold the tension. You must live in the gap. You must bridge the gap with your actions. Every time you act as if you are wealthy, you are building a bridge across the chasm. You are pulling the future into the present. You are collapsing time. Do not let the current reality dictate your behavior. Let the future reality dictate your behavior. This is what it means to live by faith and not by sight. Sight looks at the bank account and weeps. Faith looks at the plan and works. Think of the eagle. The eagle does not flock with pigeons. The eagle flies alone or with other eagles. If you want to be an eagle, you must stop scratching in the dirt with the pigeons. You must stop gossiping. You must stop complaining. You must stop consuming garbage. You must lift your head and look at the sky. You must start acting like an eagle even while you are still on the ground. You must preen your feathers. You must sharpen your talons. You must watch the currents of the wind. And when the moment comes, you must leap. You cannot learn to fly by reading a book about flying. You learn to fly by throwing yourself into the air and trusting your wings. Today you are going to throw yourself into the air. You are going to trust the wings of your new identity. This applies to your relationships. How would the ideal version of you treat your spouse? How would he treat his children? How would he treat his employees? He would not be petty. He would not be irritable. He would be magnanimous. He would be patient. He would be a source of strength. Start acting that way now. Do not wait for them to change. You change. You set the tone. You become the thermostat of the room. When you walk in, the temperature changes. If there is chaos, you bring order. If there is fear, you bring calm. This is faith in motion. It is the active injection of your character into your environment. You must become comfortable with the feeling of imposter. The world calls it imposter syndrome as if it is a disease. I call it growth. If you do not feel like an imposter, you are not stretching. You are staying within the safe confines of your current competence. To grow, you must go where you are incompetent. You must do things you have never done. Of course it feels strange. Of course it feels like you are pretending. You are pretending. But you are pretending with a purpose. You are rehearsing. Every professional athlete rehearses the play before the game. You are rehearsing success before the event. Do not let the feeling of being a fraud stop you. It is a sign that you are breaking the mold. Wear the feeling like a badge of honor. It means you are moving. Let us speak of the speed of implementation. When you get an idea, do you act on it immediately or do you let it sit? Faith requires speed. When you have an intuitive flash that says, call this person or start this project, you must move. Delay is the enemy of faith. Delay allows doubt to creep in. Doubt is a parasite that grows in the space between the idea and the action. Close the space. Kill the parasite. When the thought comes, move your feet. Pick up the phone. Write the email. Do the push-ups. Train your body to be a hair-trigger weapon for your mind. This builds a tremendous self-trust. You begin to realize that you are a man of action, and men of action are the masters of the world. For the next 24 hours, you are on a stage. The curtain is up. The lights are on. The audience is the universe. You are playing the role of the man you decided to be on day 2. You cannot break character, not for a minute. If you feel tired, you must not show it. If you feel afraid, you must not show it. You must maintain the frame. This is a discipline of the highest order. It requires constant mindfulness. You cannot go on autopilot. Autopilot leads back to the drifter. You must be conscious of every gesture, every word, every expression. You are sculpting yourself in real time. Imagine you have a camera crew following you around, documenting your life for a movie about a great success story. How would you act if the camera was rolling? Would you sit on the couch eating junk food? Would you scroll mindlessly on your phone? No. You would be doing something productive. You would be reading. You would be exercising. You would be working. Well, the camera is rolling. It is the eye of the infinite intelligence. It is recording your life. Make it a movie worth watching. Make it a story of triumph. Act your part with such conviction that even the skeptics start to believe in your script. You will find that when you change your motion, the world changes its reaction. People will step out of your way on the sidewalk. Clerks will serve you faster. Opportunities will seem to find you. This is not magic. It is the law of vibration. You are broadcasting a stronger signal. You are broadcasting a signal of value and importance, and the world responds to value. The world ignores the drifter because the drifter ignores himself. But the world notices the man who notices himself. Notice yourself today. Respect yourself today. Carry yourself as a vessel of power. Here is your drill for day 4. You are to select 3 specific physical behaviors of your future self and implement them immediately. First, the walk. Walk 25% faster than usual. Keep your head level. Look people in the eye. Do not look down. Second, the voice. Speak 20% louder. Eliminate the word try and the word maybe from your vocabulary for the entire day. Replace them with will and must. Third, the dress. Groom yourself impeccably. Shave, shower, wear your best shirt, even if you are working from home, especially if you are working from home. You are dressing for the mirror, not for the boss. Perform these 3 acts of faith from the moment you rise until the moment you sleep. If you catch yourself slipping, if you catch yourself shuffling or mumbling, stop, reset, breathe, and begin again. You are retraining a lifetime of bad habits. It takes force. It takes will. But you have the will. You found it on day 3. Now use it. When you act as if, you are essentially sending a telegram to your subconscious that says, "We are successful now." And the subconscious says, "Understood." It stops producing the chemicals of stress and starts producing the chemicals of dominance. Testosterone rises, cortisol falls. You literally change your biology by changing your behavior. You become a different animal, a stronger animal, a bolder animal. This is the physiological basis of faith. It is not just spiritual, it is biological. You are hacking your own hardware. Do not worry about the results today. The results will take care of themselves. Focus entirely on the performance. Focus on the integrity of the act. Did you walk like a master? Did you speak like a master? Did you handle the problem like a master? If you did, then the day was a victory regardless of the external outcome. You are building the habit of mastery, and habits determine destiny. Remember the story of the young Napoleon. Before he conquered Europe, he conquered his own image. He studied the great generals of antiquity. He walked like them. He thought like them. He absorbed their spirit until he became the modern embodiment of Alexander and Caesar. He did not wait for an army to make him a general. He became a general, and the army formed around him. You are a general without an army right now. But if you act like one, the army will come. The resources will come. The victory will come. Stand up, fix your tie, square your jaw. Look at the world with the eyes of a conqueror. You are not here to survive. You are here to thrive. You are here to leave a mark. Faith in motion is the chisel that leaves that mark. Strike the blow. Move the energy. Be the force. This is day 4, the day the statue comes to life, the day the dream becomes a deed, the day the word becomes flesh. Do not just listen to me. Move. Move now. Walk into your kitchen like you own the building. Drive your car like you are on a mission. Do your work like you are building a cathedral. Put faith in motion and watch the mountains move. Say it aloud. I speak as if. I walk as if. I live as if. My mind accepts it and my world obeys. Again, I speak as if. I walk as if. I live as if. My mind accepts it and my world obeys. Let this be the rhythm of your steps today. Let this be the beat of your heart. You are a man of faith, and faith is a man in motion. Go. We have established the throne room. We have designed the identity. We have drawn the sword of decision. We have put faith in motion. Now we arrive at the fuel source. No engine can run on sand, and no mind can build a fortune on garbage. Today we confront the most insidious addiction of the modern age. We confront the addiction to noise, to distraction, and to the toxicity of other people's opinions. You cannot build a temple of greatness while feeding on the refuse of the gutter. Input determines direction. And I tell you now, with the gravity of a judge passing sentence, that most of what you allow into your mind is poison. It is not neutral. It is not harmless entertainment. It is an active agent of decay that is rotting your ambition from the inside out. Day 5 is about seizing control of the gates of your mind. It is about establishing a strict dietary restriction, not for your stomach but for your soul. It is about adopting the diet of titans. Consider the physical body. If you feed a man nothing but sugar, grease, and poison for 30 days, he will become weak, lethargic, and sick. His thinking will cloud. His energy will crash. You would not expect an athlete to win a gold medal on a diet of trash. Yet you expect your mind to build an empire while you feed it the mental equivalent of sewage. You wake up and ingest the fear of the news. You scroll through the envy of social media. You listen to the complaints of small-minded people. You absorb the anger of political debates that have nothing to do with your definite chief aim. And then you wonder why you are anxious. You wonder why you lack focus. You wonder why you have no creative energy. It is no mystery. You are spiritually malnourished and mentally poisoned. You are suffering from information, obesity, and wisdom starvation. The subconscious mind is a factory that never sleeps. It takes the raw materials you provide and manufactures your reality. If you provide it with stories of failure, it manufactures failure. If you provide it with images of disaster, it manufactures anxiety. If you provide it with the chaotic opinions of the mob, it manufactures confusion. The subconscious has no filter. It does not know how to reject. It accepts everything you give it as truth. When you watch a terrifying news report, your conscious mind knows it is happening on a screen, but your subconscious mind feels the fear as if it were happening to you. It floods your body with cortisol. It prepares you for a danger that is not there. You are living in a chronic state of emergency because you have wired your brain to the chaos of the world. You must sever this connection. You must protect the factory. John D. Sissons. Rockefeller understood this principle with absolute clarity. He was the wealthiest man of his time, yet he lived a life of remarkable quietude. He did not read the sensational newspapers of the day. He did not engage in the petty gossip of Wall Street. He insulated his mind. He knew that to maintain the vision required to run Standard Oil, he needed a mental atmosphere of absolute purity. He treated his mind like a vault. Only the highest quality information was allowed in. Only the most capable men were allowed to speak to him. He knew that one negative idea, one seed of doubt dropped by a careless fool could grow into a weed that would choke his judgment. You must adopt the Rockefeller standard. You must become a snob about what you consume. You must look at the news and the noise and say, "This is beneath me. This is not food for a king." For the next 24 hours, and indeed for the next 7 days, you are going on a strict mental fast. This is not a suggestion. It is a requirement for the resurrection of your power. You are going to eliminate every source of negative input. This means no news, none. The world will turn without you watching it. If something truly important happens, you will hear about it. But you do not need the hourly drip of disaster. No social scrolling. This is the hardest addiction to break. You are addicted to the dopamine hit of the new. But that scroll is a slot machine that steals your time and gives you nothing but envy and distraction in return. No debates, no drama, no engaging in circular arguments with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Cut it all off. Silence the noise so you can hear the signal of your own destiny. You might say, "But I need to stay informed." This is the lie of the drifter. You do not need to stay informed about the chaos of the world. You need to stay informed about your own purpose. You need to stay informed about your own plan. You need to know where you are going, not where the world is crashing. The news is a business. It sells your attention to advertisers. It uses fear to keep you watching. It uses outrage to keep you clicking. You are the product. Every time you get angry at a headline, you are making someone else rich while making yourself poor. Stop being the product. Stop selling your attention for free. Your attention is the most valuable currency you possess. Invest it. Do not spend it. When you cut out the noise, you create a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. If you just sit in the silence, you might go crazy with withdrawal symptoms. So you must replace the poison with medicine. You must replace the diet of the drifter with the diet of titans. What do titans eat? They eat the thoughts of other titans. They consume the wisdom of the ages. Instead of reading the news, read the biography of a great man. Read about Lincoln. Read about Ford. Read about Edison. When you read their lives, you absorb their spirit. You see how they handled difficulty. You see how they thought. You are literally downloading their software into your brain. This is the mastermind principle in action. You are communing with the dead and letting them teach you how to live. Instead of listening to the latest pop song that glorifies weakness or heartbreak, listen to a lecture that teaches strength. Listen to audiobooks that expand your skills. Listen to classical music that orders the mind. Vibration matters. High vibration input creates high vibration output. If you fill your mind with the logic of philosophy and the beauty of art, you will produce thoughts that are logical and beautiful. If you fill your mind with the slang of the street and the rhythm of chaos, you will produce a chaotic life. You are what you eat mentally, as well as physically. Let us speak of the circle of influence. The people you listen to are part of your diet. If you spend your lunch hour listening to your coworkers complain about the boss and the economy, you are eating poison. You are swallowing their limiting beliefs. You may think you are just being polite, but your subconscious is recording every word. It is saying, "Oh, this is how we view the world. The world is bad. The boss is evil. Money is scarce." And it begins to build that reality for you. You must audit your conversations. If a conversation does not build you up, if it does not solve a problem, if it does not inspire you, exit the conversation. Be ruthless. Your mind is too valuable to be a dumping ground for other people's trash. This week you will practice the art of selective ignorance. You will choose to be ignorant of things that do not matter. You do not need to know what celebrity is dating whom. You do not need to know the latest scandal. You do not need to know the score of the game if you are not playing in it. This ignorance is not stupidity, it is focus. It is the laser beam that burns through steel because it does not scatter its light. By ignoring the trivial, you gain the energy to master the essential. The Titan knows everything about his craft and nothing about the gossip. The Drifter knows everything about the gossip and nothing about his craft. Choose which one you will be. There is a concept called the golden hour. We spoke of the morning as the throne room. During this hour, the diet is most critical. If you look at your phone in the first hour, you are drinking from a fire hose of sewage. You are letting the world dictate your mood. But if you read a philosophy book in the first hour, you are drinking from a mountain spring. You are setting a tone of wisdom for the day. Make a rule. No digital input for the first hour of the day and the last hour of the night. These are the sacred bookends of your life. Protect them. Fill them with the words of the masters. Fill them with your own definite chief aim. Fill them with silence. You will feel withdrawal. Make no mistake. Your brain is addicted to the stimulation of the screen. You will reach for your pocket automatically. You will feel a phantom vibration. You will feel a sense of FOMO, fear of missing out. You must recognize these symptoms for what they are. They are the cries of the addict. They are the resistance of the old self dying. When you feel the urge to check the news, pick up your journal instead. Write a thought. Write a goal. When you feel the urge to scroll, pick up a book. Read a page. You are retraining your dopamine receptors. You are teaching your brain to find pleasure in depth rather than in speed. Consider the clarity of the ancient Stoics. Marcus Aurelius ruled the known world, yet he wrote in his journal about the need to retreat into the quiet of his own mind. He did not have a smartphone, but he had the clamor of Rome. He shut it out. He focused on his own character. He fed his mind with precepts of justice and temperance. If the Emperor of Rome could find time for silence and study, you can too. You are not busier than Marcus Aurelius. You are just more distracted. You are letting the thieves of time steal your inheritance. Stop them. Bar the door. The diet of titans also includes the consumption of high-level problems. Most men consume low-level problems. What is for dinner? Who won the game? Why is the traffic slow? Titans consume high-level problems. How can I serve more people? How can I improve this product? How can I double my efficiency? Give your mind a bone to chew on that is worthy of its power. If you feed your mind great questions, it will give you great answers. If you feed it trivial questions, it will give you trivial answers. Use your commute, use your waiting time, use your shower time to ponder high-level questions. This is nutrition for the genius within you. Let us look at the information-action ratio. Most people consume 100 units of information and take 1 unit of action. They are mentally obese. They are bloated with facts they never use. The Titan consumes 1 unit of information and takes 100 units of action. He learns one thing and applies it immediately. He does not read 10 books on sales. He reads 1 chapter and makes 10 calls. Stop hoarding information. Stop binge-watching tutorials. Stop preparing to be ready. Learn one concept and go execute it. The diet works best when it is metabolized by action. Knowledge that is not used becomes toxic. It turns into procrastination. It turns into the illusion of competence. You feel smart, but you are broke. Action purifies knowledge. For the next 7 days, you are going to treat your eyes and ears as the guards of the palace. You are going to filter everything. If you walk into a room where the television is blaring bad news, walk out or turn it off. If you are in a car with a radio playing mindless noise, turn it off. If you are with people who are tearing others down, leave. You are sending a signal to the universe that you have raised your standards. And when you raise your standards, the universe raises its delivery. You will start to attract better information. You will start to notice books falling off the shelf that have the exact answer you need. You will meet people who speak the language of success. This is the law of attraction working through the filter of your attention. You must also be careful of the Trojan horse of entertainment. Many movies and shows are packaged as entertainment, but they carry a payload of cynicism, violence, and despair. They normalize failure. They glorify the criminal and the corrupt. When you watch them, you are lowering your vibration. I am not saying you can never watch a movie. I am saying be selective. Watch movies that inspire. Watch stories of heroism. Watch narratives where the good guys win through struggle and character. Feed your subconscious with archetypes of victory. If you watch tragedies all day, you will rehearse tragedy in your soul. If you watch triumphs, you will rehearse triumph. The diet of titans requires you to become comfortable with being out of the loop. People will ask, "Did you hear about what happened?" And you will say no. They will look at you like you are strange. Wear that strangeness like a badge of honor. It means you are not part of the herd. It means you are not plugged into the matrix of fear. While they are discussing the problem, you are building the solution. While they are worrying about the world, you are changing your world. There is an immense power in being the one who does not know the latest gossip, but knows his own definite purpose. Think of your mind as a high-performance engine. You would not put sand in a Ferrari. You would not put water in a jet engine. You put the highest octane fuel available. Your mind is more complex and more powerful than any engine ever built. It can warp reality. It can create wealth from thin air. It can heal the body. Why would you put the sand of gossip in it? Why would you put the water of mediocrity in it? Respect the machine. Give it the fuel it deserves. Give it the words of the prophets. Give it the logic of the philosophers. Give it the poetry of the dreamers. Give it the strategy of the generals. Here is your protocol for day 5. Go through your phone and delete the apps that steal your time. Unfollow the accounts that make you feel envious or angry. Turn off all notifications except for the absolute essentials. Cancel the subscriptions to the noise. Clear the digital clutter. Then go to your bookshelf or your audio library and select 3 sources of wisdom. 1 for the morning, 1 for the commute, 1 for the evening. Commit to these 3 sources for the week. Immerse yourself in them. Memorize them. Let them wash over your mind until you start thinking in their cadence. You will find that when you stop eating the junk food of the mind, your mental fog lifts. You will have a sharpness of thought that you haven't felt in years. You will be able to concentrate for long periods. Your memory will improve. Your anxiety will decrease. This is the natural state of the human mind. The anxiety and the fog were just symptoms of the poisoning. You are detoxing. You are returning to your factory settings of brilliance and clarity. The Titan does not have a better mind than you. He just has a cleaner mind. He has a protected mind. He has a focused mind. You can have this too. It does not cost money. It costs discipline. It costs the willingness to be different. It costs the addiction to the dopamine of the drift. Are you willing to pay that cost? If you are, the rewards are infinite. A clear mind can solve any problem. A clear mind can see opportunities that are invisible to the distracted. A clear mind is a conduit for the infinite intelligence. Day 5 is the turning point. It is the day you stop being a consumer and start being a creator. It is the day you build the wall around your Jerusalem. Do not let the enemy in, not even a crack. Stand guard. Be vigilant. Be ruthless. Your destiny is growing in the garden of your mind. Do not let the pigs trample the flowers. Feed the soil with the nutrients of greatness. Say this aloud: I do not absorb weakness. I consume only what feeds my vision. I do not absorb weakness. I consume only what feeds my vision. Let this be your mantra. Let this be your shield. When the notification pings, say it. When the gossip starts, say it. When the urge to scroll hits, say it. Defend your mind. It is the only thing you truly own, and it is the only thing that can give you the life you desire. This is the diet of titans. Eat well, live strong, think big. The feast of wisdom is prepared. The table is set. Sit down and partake of the power that has fueled the greatest achievements of mankind. Starve the fear, feed the faith, and watch how quickly you grow into the giant you were meant to be. The fast begins now. The feast begins now. Choose your plate. We have cleared the mind. We have forged the identity. We have sharpened the decision. We have activated faith. We have purified the diet. Now on day 6, we must build the frame upon which all of this power will hang. Without a frame, the body is merely a pile of meat on the floor, unable to stand, unable to move, and unable to fight. Without a frame, a building is nothing more than a pile of bricks waiting to be scattered by the wind. You have generated a tremendous amount of energy in the last 5 days, but energy without containment dissipates. Energy without direction causes chaos. You need a container. You need a spine. You need what I call the iron skeleton of structure. Today is about the death of softness and the birth of the backbone. It is about the transition from being a man of impulses to being a man of order. Softness is the disease of this age. It creeps in through the open door of comfort. It speaks in the seductive language of excuses. It tells you that you should rest when you are not tired. It tells you that you should quit when it gets hard. It tells you that freedom means doing whatever you feel like doing in the moment. That is a lie. That is the definition of slavery. The man who does whatever he feels like doing is a slave to his own appetites. He is a slave to his hormones. He is a slave to the weather and to the moods of others. True freedom is found only in discipline. The disciplined man is free because he has conquered the tyrant within himself. He does not have to ask his emotions for permission to act. He acts because he has a structure that demands action. You must understand the relationship between structure and flow. Look at a river. A river flows with power and purpose toward the ocean. It can turn turbines and light up cities. It can carry ships. Why? Because it has banks. The banks are the structure. They confine the water. They restrict the water. But they also give the water direction and velocity. Now look at a swamp. A swamp has no banks. The water flows wherever it wants. It spreads out. It stagnates. It breeds disease and mosquitoes. It goes nowhere and it achieves nothing. Most men are living swamp lives. They have no banks. They have no structure. They spill their energy all over the place and wonder why they have no power. You are here to build the banks of the river. You are here to channel your force. Structure is your spine. Without it, you are a puddle. With it, you are a pillar. You must structure your day before the day structures you. Nature abhors a vacuum. If you do not fill your day with high-value activities, the world will fill it with low-value distractions. If you do not decide exactly when you will rise, exactly when you will work, and exactly when you will rest, the entropy of the universe will decide for you. And entropy always moves toward disorder. You must fight this disorder with the weapon of the schedule. A schedule is not a prison. A schedule is a net that catches your time and prevents it from slipping through your fingers into the abyss of wasted potential. The undisciplined man is ruled by his emotions. He wakes up and asks himself, how do I feel today? If he feels tired, he hits snooze. If he feels uninspired, he procrastinates. If he feels anxious, he hides. He is a puppet and his emotions pull the strings. The disciplined man rules his emotions. He wakes up and does not ask how he feels. It is irrelevant how he feels. He asks, what is the plan? And then he executes the plan. He brings his emotions along for the ride, but he does not let them drive the car. This is the divide between the amateur and the professional. The amateur waits for inspiration. The professional goes to work. You must become a professional at living. We must dismantle the myth that structure kills creativity. This is the excuse of the lazy. They say they want to be spontaneous, but look at their lives. Their spontaneity is usually just a cover for disorganization. True creativity flourishes within constraints. When you know exactly when you are supposed to work, your mind knows it is time to deliver. When you know exactly when you are supposed to rest, your mind allows you to recover. Structure creates a safe container for your genius to emerge. Without structure, you are always in a low-level state of anxiety, wondering what you should be doing next. Structure eliminates that anxiety. It answers the question, what now? Before you even ask it. Let us look at the titans of history. They were men of routine. Immanuel Kant, the great philosopher, had a routine so precise that the neighbors would set their clocks by his daily walk. Benjamin Franklin had a strict schedule of self-improvement. Winston Churchill had a daily regimen that allowed him to carry the weight of the war. These men were not robots. They were highly effective humans who understood that to do great work you must automate the basics. When you automate your waking time, your eating time, and your working time, you free up your mental RAM to focus on the difficult problems. If you are wasting mental energy deciding what to eat for breakfast, you are stealing energy from your definite chief aim. Structure preserves your decision-making power for the things that matter. The iron skeleton is built on the concept of non-negotiables. A non-negotiable is a task or a habit that happens no matter what. It does not depend on the weather. It does not depend on your mood. It does not depend on the economy. It is done because you said it would be done. You must identify the non-negotiables in your life. Perhaps it is rising at 5:00 a.m. Perhaps it is reading 10 pages. Perhaps it is making 20 sales calls. Whatever they are, they must be set in concrete. When you hold to a non-negotiable, you build self-trust. You prove to yourself that you are a man of your word. If you break a non-negotiable, you crack the foundation of your character. You tell your subconscious that you are a liar, and a man who lies to himself cannot command reality. You must stop negotiating with yourself. This is the source of all weakness. The alarm goes off and the negotiation begins. 5 more minutes won't hurt. I'll make it up later. I deserve a break. This internal debate is draining you. It is exhausting. Stop the debate. The decision was made last night. The decision was made when you set the goal. There is nothing to discuss. When the alarm rings, your feet hit the floor. When the time comes to work, you open the laptop. When the time comes to train, you lift the weight. Immediate obedience to your own commands is the ultimate form of self-respect. You are the general, and you are the soldier. The soldier must obey the general without question. Discipline is not punishment. It is purpose in motion. It is the proof that you are living from the inside out. When you see a man who is physically fit, financially solvent, and mentally sharp, you are looking at a man who has built an iron skeleton. You are looking at a man who has said no to 1,000 lesser things so that he could say yes to the greater thing. Discipline is the art of saying no. No to the distraction. No to the junk food. No to the gossip. No to the easy way out. Every no adds a bar of steel to your skeleton. Every yes to comfort removes a bar. You are either building the skeleton or you are dismantling it. There is no neutral day. Lincoln did not rise on charisma alone. He rose on self-control. He won by preparation. When others panicked, he planned. He had a structure for his thinking. He had a structure for his communication. He did not let the chaos of the Civil War invade the order of his mind. He kept his internal house in order so that he could order the nation. You are the president of your own life. If your internal administration is in chaos, your territory will be in chaos. You must govern yourself before you can govern anything else. Here is the drill for day 6. You are going to construct the skeleton of your day. You are going to write it down. A plan that is not written is just a dream. A plan that is written is a contract. You are going to divide your day into blocks. First, the morning block. We covered this in day 1. This is the foundation. Then the work block. This is where you do the deep focused labor of your calling. During this block, there are no distractions. The phone is off. The door is closed. You are in the mine digging for gold. Then the maintenance block. This is where you answer emails, make calls, and handle the logistics. Do not mix the two. If you mix deep work with shallow work, you get shallow results. Then the regeneration block. This is where you exercise, eat, and connect with loved ones. And finally, the review block. This is where you look at the day and prepare for the next. This schedule is your shield. It protects you from the drift. When you have a gap in your day, the devil of drift enters. He whispers, "Just check social media for a minute," and suddenly an hour is gone. If that hour was assigned to a block, the devil cannot enter. You say, "No, this is reading time." Structure is your defense against the thief of time. You must guard your time with the ferocity of a dragon guarding gold. Time is the raw material of life. If you waste it, you are burning your life. Structure is the vessel that holds time and allows you to transmute it into value. Your emotions are not God. They are children. You are the parent. You tell them where to sit and what to do. A child wants to eat candy for dinner. A parent says, no, you will eat meat and vegetables because you need to grow. Your emotions want comfort. Your will demands growth. If you let the children run the house will be a ruin. You must love your emotions, but you must not let them lead. You must acknowledge them and then subordinate them to the plan. I feel fear, but I will act anyway. I feel tired, but I will finish anyway. This is the dialogue of the master. The iron skeleton also requires the element of finish. A structure is not stable if the bolts are loose. You must learn to finish what you start. The drifter leaves a trail of half-finished projects, half-read books, and half-fulfilled promises. This creates a psychic drag. It weighs down the mind. Every open loop is a leak in your energy tank. You must become a finisher. If you start a task, complete it. If you open a door, close it. If you make a mess, clean it. This builds a reputation with yourself. You begin to see yourself as a man who completes things. A man of completion is a man of power. Do not start 1,000 things. Start 3 and finish 3. That is better than starting 100 and finishing none. We must also speak of the hardest task first. This is a structural law. You have the most willpower in the morning. As the day goes on, your will fatigues. Therefore, you must do the hardest, most important thing first. Napoleon Hill called this eating the frog. If you have to eat a live frog, do it first thing in the morning, and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. If you put it off, it will loom over you. It will drain your energy just by thinking about it. Attack the difficult task. Kill the monster while you are fresh. This gives you a surge of victory that carries you through the rest of the day. Structure builds resilience. When tragedy strikes, when the market crashes, when illness comes, the man with structure survives. He has a routine to fall back on. He does not have to think about what to do. He just falls into the habit of his discipline. The habit holds him up when his legs are weak. The ritual carries him when his spirit is broken. Structure is your safety net. It is your life preserver in the storm. If you wait until the storm comes to build the boat, you will drown. You must build the boat now while the sun is shining. You must build the iron skeleton now while you have the strength. You might say, this sounds rigid. This sounds boring. I tell you that discipline is the gateway to the miraculous. The musician practices his scales, which are rigid and boring, so that he can play a concerto which is transcendent and free. The athlete trains his body with repetitive drills so that he can perform a feat of impossible athleticism in the game. You are practicing the scales of life. You are doing the drills of destiny. You accept the rigidity of the preparation so that you can experience the freedom of the achievement. There is no other way. The path to the mountaintop is a hard, rocky path. It is not a meadow. If you want the view, you must climb the path. This week is about installation. You are installing the software of the master, but software needs hardware to run on. Structure is the hardware. It is the server. It is the machine. You must maintain the machine. You must oil the gears with consistency. You must tighten the screws with review. You must power it with the electricity of your will. Do not neglect the machine. If the machine breaks down, the software cannot run. Say this aloud. I train myself. I obey structure. My habits are soldiers building my future. Visualize your habits as an army. They are marching in formation. They are conquering territory for you. Every time you follow your schedule, your army advances. Every time you drift, your army retreats. Do you want to win the war or lose it? The war is won in the daily maneuvers. It is won in the small, unglamorous acts of obedience to the plan. For the next 24 hours, you are going to live by the clock. You are going to respect the blocks of time you have set. You are going to catch yourself when you try to escape the structure. You are going to bring yourself back to the line. You are going to feel the resistance and you are going to push through it. You are going to discover that on the other side of resistance is a flow state. When you stop fighting the structure and surrender to it, you are carried by it. You become efficient. You become effective. You become dangerous. The iron skeleton is what separates the boys from the men. Boys do what they want. Men do what is required. Boys live for the moment. Men live for the legacy. You are crossing the line into manhood today. You are accepting the burden of command. And the first thing you command is your own schedule. You are not a leaf in the wind. You are the mountain that breaks the wind. Stand firm, stand structured, stand strong. Review your day before you sleep. Look at where the structure held and where it buckled. Do not judge yourself with shame, judge yourself with accuracy. I failed here. Why? I didn't plan for the interruption. Tomorrow I will plan better. Adjust the plan. Reinforce the weak points. Weld the joints. Day by day your skeleton becomes stronger. Day by day you become harder to break. This is the path of the Stoic. This is the path of the warrior. This is the path of the industrialist. It is the path of iron. Can you walk it? Yes. You have the strength. You have the will. You just need to decide to use it. Do not let your feelings vote. Your feelings are not on the board of directors. They are employees. Treat them with kindness, but keep them in their place. The will is the CEO. The plan is the strategy. The structure is the company. Run your life like a Fortune 500 company. Run it with precision. Run it with profit in mind. The profit of purpose. The profit of character. The profit of freedom. Say it again. I train myself. I obey structure. My habits are soldiers building my future. Let this be the rhythm of your day. Let the clicking of the clock remind you that you are on a mission. Time is ticking away. Are you using it or losing it? With structure, you use it. Without structure, you lose it. The choice is yours. The skeleton is waiting to be built. Pick up the iron and start welding. Day 6 is the day you stop being soft. It is the day you harden your resolve. It is the day you build the frame that will hold the weight of your glory. Because glory is heavy. Success is heavy. If you are weak, it will crush you. If you are structured, you will carry it with ease. Build the skeleton. Carry the weight. Become the master. We have built the structure. We have cleared the diet. We have sharpened the decision. Now, on the 7th day, we arrive at the tool of creation itself. We arrive at the mechanism by which the invisible becomes visible. We arrive at the command of speech. You may think that your words are merely tools for communication used to describe the world around you. You are wrong. Your words are not descriptive. They are prescriptive. They do not describe your reality. They prescribe your reality. Every time you open your mouth, you are issuing a decree to the universe and a command to your subconscious mind. Most men use this power to destroy themselves. They use their words to build prison walls around their potential. They say, I am tired, I am broke, I am unlucky, I cannot do this. They are hypnotizing themselves into failure with their own tongues. They are the architects of their own misery. Today we are going to break that hypnosis. Today you will learn to speak with the authority of a creator. You will learn that the word is the spark that ignites the fire of transmutation. You must understand that the subconscious mind is sensitive to sound. It is sensitive to vibration. When you think a thought, it has power. But when you speak that thought aloud, the power is magnified 100-fold. The vibration of your voice resonates through your skull and into your nervous system. It sends a physical signal that overrides the chatter of the doubting mind. This is why silent affirmations often fail while spoken declarations succeed. You must hear yourself. You must hear the sound of your own conviction. The subconscious does not judge, it simply obeys. If you tell it you are weak, it will drain your energy to prove you right. If you tell it you are unstoppable, it will flood you with resources to prove you right. You are the prophet of your own life. The question is, are you prophesying doom or are you prophesying glory? Let us look at the pathology of weak speech. The language of the drifter is filled with hesitation and negation. He uses words like try and hope and maybe and wish. I'll try to do better. I hope things work out. Maybe I'll get a break. These words are poison. The word try implies the possibility of failure. It gives you an out. It tells the subconscious, I don't really expect this to happen, so don't work too hard. You must eliminate these words from your vocabulary. You must perform a linguistic surgery. You must cut out the cancer of hesitation. Replace try with will. Replace hope with no. Replace maybe with definitely. When you change your language, you change your neurology. You force your brain to look for certainty instead of looking for excuses. Autosuggestion is the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed his subconscious mind on thoughts of a creative nature. It is the method by which you plant the seed of the definite chief aim into the fertile soil of the mind. But the seed must be watered with emotion and repetition. A cold mechanical repetition of words will have no effect. You cannot just mumble, "I am rich," while feeling poor, and expect a result. You must speak the word until you feel the vibration of wealth in your body. You must act the part with your voice. You must become a master actor in the theater of your own mind. You must speak with such force and such conviction that your subconscious has no choice but to believe you. At first you will feel like a liar. You will say, "I am a master," and your mind will say, "No, you are not." This is the resistance. You must speak through the resistance. You must speak until the resistance breaks. You must speak until the lie becomes the truth. We are going to structure your speech around 4 pillars of command. These are the 4 categories of declaration that cover the totality of your existence. They are I am, I do, I build, and I demand. These are not random phrases. They are the cornerstones of a new reality. You will use these pillars to construct a fortress of belief that no doubt can breach. The first pillar is I am. This is the pillar of identity. The words I am are the most powerful words in the human language. Whatever follows I am starts looking for you. If you say I am sick, sickness starts looking for you. If you say I am old, age starts looking for you. You must use this power to define yourself as you intend to be, not as you have been. You must stop identifying with your history and start identifying with your destiny. Say, I am the architect of my fate. I am a man of discipline. I am worthy of great wealth. I am a force for good. I am unshakable. When you speak these words, you are putting on a new name tag. You are telling the universe how to address you. You are telling your cells how to behave. You are raising your standard. Identity is not fixed, it is fluid. It takes the shape of the container you pour it into. Your words are the container. Pour yourself into a vessel of greatness. The second pillar is I do. This is the pillar of action. Identity without action is hallucination. You must affirm your capacity to act. The drifter procrastinates. The drifter avoids pain. You must declare war on procrastination with your speech. Say, I do what others will not do. I do the hard work first. I do not wait for permission. I move with speed and precision. I finish what I start. When you speak these words, you are greasing the gears of your will. You are making it easier to move. You are pre-programming your behavior. When the moment of hesitation comes, the echo of your declaration will push you forward. You will remember, I am the man who does the hard work, and you will do it. You are bridging the gap between intention and execution with the bridge of your words. The third pillar is I build. This is the pillar of creation and service. You are not here merely to consume. You are here to contribute. You are here to leave a mark. Wealth comes from value, and value comes from what you build. You must affirm your role as a creator. Say, I build wealth through service. I build strong relationships. I build systems of success. I build a legacy for my family. I build value in the marketplace. This shifts your focus from what you can get to what you can give. It aligns you with the law of compensation. It reminds you that you are a producer, not a parasite. When you affirm your power to build, you stimulate your imagination. You start seeing opportunities to create value that you missed before. You start thinking like an owner, not an employee. The fourth pillar is I demand. This is the pillar of authority. This is the most difficult one for many men because they have been taught to be passive. They have been taught to ask politely and wait for crumbs. But nature does not respond to beggars. Nature responds to demands. I do not mean demanding things from other people in a rude way. I mean demanding the best from yourself and demanding that life yield its treasures to your effort. Napoleon Hill taught that you must demand riches. You must demand health. Say, I demand excellence from myself. I demand focus from my mind. I demand that my time be respected. I demand the fair reward for my service. This is the language of the king. A king does not plead, he decrees. When you speak with authority, you stand straighter. You breathe deeper. You signal to the world that you are not to be trifled with. You signal to your subconscious that you are in charge. Now we must establish the protocol. The ritual of the seventh day is the culmination of all previous days. You are going to engage in a verbal bombardment of your old self. Every morning immediately after you rise, and every night immediately before you sleep, you will speak your identity aloud. You will speak it 10 times. Why 10? Because 1 is a thought, 3 is a wish, but 10 is a drill. 10 is a hammer driving a nail. You need volume and you need repetition. Stand in your room. If you can look in a mirror, look yourself in the eye. This is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. You must face yourself, and then begin. Speak with your chest voice. Do not whisper. If you have to go to your car to scream, then go to your car. But let the sound out. I am the master of my mind. I am the master of my mind. I am the master of my mind. Say it until you believe it. Say it until the hair on your arm stands up. Say it until the voice of the critic in your head shuts up out of fear of your power. You are not just talking, you are rewriting code. You are overwriting the virus of doubt with the firewall of faith. You must understand that your voice is a tuning fork. It tunes your vibration. If you wake up and say, "Ugh, I am so tired, I hate Mondays," you have just tuned your instrument to the key of misery, and the orchestra of your life will play a miserable song all day long. But if you wake up and say, "I am alive, I am ready, I am powerful," you tune your instrument to the key of victory. The events of the day may be the same, but your reaction to them will be different. You will handle the stress with grace. You will see the problems as challenges. You will turn the lead into gold because you possess the philosopher's stone of a positive mental attitude anchored in speech. You will face resistance from the people around you. They will not understand your new language. They are used to the language of the victim. When they complain about the economy and you say, "I am creating my own economy," they will look at you with scorn. They will call you unrealistic. They will call you arrogant. Let them. Their opinion is the cage they live in. Do not step into their cage. Do not lower your language to match theirs. If you cannot speak your truth, silence is better than agreement with negativity. Do not engage in the recitals of failure. Do not gossip. Do not complain. Every time you complain, you are using the power of speech to affirm what you do not want. You are cementing the problem. Stop talking about the problem and start talking about the solution. Stop talking about the sickness and start talking about the health. Stop talking about the debt and start talking about the income. There is a magical timing to this protocol. The subconscious is most open right upon waking and right before sleeping. We have discussed this, but the spoken word acts as a seal on the day. When you end your day with the declaration, "I have done my best, I am growing, I am at peace," you close the file on the day with a stamp of approval. You allow your subconscious to rest in satisfaction. If you end the day with, "I didn't get enough done, I'm so stressed," you leave the file open. You leave the subconscious in a state of agitation. It cannot build your future because it is too busy trying to fix your past. Use your speech to bring closure. Use your speech to bless your day. Even if it was a hard day, bless it. Say, "This day made me stronger." Frame it. Control the narrative. You are the storyteller of your life. Until now, you have been telling a tragedy. You have been telling a story of a man who tries and fails, a man who is a victim of circumstance. Why are you telling that story? It is boring, and it is destructive. Start telling a new story. Tell the story of the hero. Tell the story of the man who faced the fire and walked through it. Tell the story of the comeback, and tell it in the present tense. I am rising. I am overcoming. I am succeeding. When you change the story, you change the character. You become the hero because you are speaking the hero's lines. This applies to your interactions with others as well. Your word is your bond. When you say you will do something, you must do it. If you speak idle words that you do not mean, you dilute your power. The subconscious stops believing you. If you say, "I will be there at 5," and you show up at 5 to 10, you have taught your subconscious that your word is a lie. If you say, "I will finish this today," and you don't, you are a liar. You must become a man of impeccable speech. Say little but mean everything. When your word becomes law to you, it becomes law to the universe. The universe trusts a man who trusts himself. The universe gives more responsibility and more reward to the man whose word is iron. Let us speak of the incantation. This is a phrase you can use in moments of high stress. When the pressure is on, when the fear is gripping your throat, you need a circuit breaker. You need a phrase that snaps you back to reality. Find a short, powerful phrase. "I am enough. This is my time. God is with me." Strength. Whatever it is, have it ready. When the panic rises, speak it. Speak it loud. It cuts the pattern of panic. It resets the nervous system. It reminds you who you are. You cannot control the storm, but you can control your voice in the storm. And the voice controls the internal weather. This week, you have learned silence. Now you learn sound. Silence builds the energy. Sound directs it. You gather the power in the morning silence and you release it through the spoken decree. This is the rhythm of creation. Inhale inspiration, exhale declaration. Inhale faith, exhale command. You are a breathing, speaking engine of reality creation. Do not waste a single breath on words that do not serve you. Think of the great commanders of history. Think of General Patton. Think of Winston Churchill. They used words to change the course of history. Churchill mobilized the English language and sent it into battle. He did not say, "We might win." He said, "We shall fight on the beaches. We shall never surrender." His words became the backbone of a nation. Your words are the backbone of your life. If your words are weak, your life will be spineless. If your words are iron, your life will be unbreakable. You must be your own Churchill. You must rally your own troops. Your cells are your troops. Your thoughts are your troops. Rally them with the speech of victory. Here is your assignment for day 7. Write down your code of command. Write down 10 sentences that define the new you. Use the 4 pillars. Include your financial goals, your physical standards, and your spiritual state. Write them on a card. Carry that card in your pocket. It is more valuable than your credit card. It is your passport to the future. Every time you touch it, remember your oath. Read it in the car. Read it in the bathroom. Read it before you walk into a meeting. Saturate your mind with these commands. Brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. And remember the tone. The tone is everything. You cannot beg, you cannot whine, you cannot plead, you must demand. Not with anger, but with absolute entitlement. You are a child of the infinite. You have a right to be here, you have a right to be great. Claim that right. Speak with the assumption that your request has already been granted. Thank you for my wealth. Thank you for my strength. Thank you for my victory. Gratitude is the highest form of command, because it implies that the deed is done. This is the final key. The 7-day resurrection is not just a collection of habits, it is a complete system of self-mastery, and speech is the glue that holds it all together. Your words anchor your identity. Your words clarify your decisions. Your words direct your faith. Your words protect your structure. Your words enforce your diet. If you master your tongue, you master your life. Do not let this day pass without taking the stand. Stand in the center of your room. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Open your mouth and let the new man speak. Let the drifter die in the silence and let the master be born in the sound. I am the architect of my fate. I do the work others avoid. I build wealth through service. I demand excellence from myself. Say it, scream it, whisper it, but mean it. Your life depends on it. The grave of the drifter is open. Push him in and walk away speaking the language of the resurrected man. The past is dead. Your words are life. Speak life 7 days. That is all it took to build the world, and that is all it takes to rebuild a man. You have the tools, you have the laws, you have the command. Now go and execute. The world is waiting to hear your voice. Make sure it is a voice worth hearing. Make sure it is the voice of a master. We have reached the end of the beginning. We have walked together through the 7 gates of transformation. We have established the throne room of the morning. We have designed the architect of identity. We have wielded the sword of decision. We have set faith in motion. We have consumed the diet of titans. We have erected the iron skeleton of structure. And we have mastered the command of speech. You have heard the laws. You have received the tools. You have been given the blueprint. But now comes the most dangerous moment of all. The moment when the voice of instruction fades and the silence of your own life returns. This is the moment where most men fail. They feel the heat of the fire while they are standing near the flame, but as soon as they walk away into the cold world, the fire dies. They return to the comfort of the drifter. They return to the sleep of the average. They treat this experience as a nice memory rather than a permanent mutation. I am here to tell you that you must not let that happen. You must not let the fire go out. This was not a lecture. This was an initiation. And an initiation is meaningless unless it leads to a new way of living. If you have followed this protocol, If you have truly obeyed each part spoken, each command, repeated each affirmation, and made each decision, then you are physically and spiritually not the same man you were 7 days ago. You are something sharper. You are something louder in silence. You are something clearer in purpose. You are something unstoppable in motion. 7 days ago, you were familiar. You were known by your past. You were defined by your hesitation. You were owned by your old beliefs. But not anymore. The old man has been buried. He was buried in the silence of your morning meditation. He died under the weight of your discipline. He was starved by the structure of your schedule. He was replaced by fire. This is not a fantasy. This is a transformation. And the mechanism was never a mystery. It was law. Law applied daily, law applied ruthlessly, law applied without apology. Identity does not shift through dreams. Identity shifts through repetition, action, and decision. Every morning you repeated your new name. Every night you reinforced your law. Every hour you obeyed your own command. This is not motivation. This is internal reprogramming. You have spoken it until you believed it. You have believed it until you acted on it. You have acted on it until it became visible. You have watched yourself rise, not by waiting but by working. This is what most men never learn. They think change is a matter of time. They think that if they just wait long enough, things will get better. But time changes nothing. Time only decays. It is force that changes things. It is the force of will applied to the material of life. You have learned to apply that force. Your subconscious mind now knows a different master. It is no longer ruled by the ghosts of fear. It is no longer fed by the poison of drift. It is no longer trained by the habit of failure. It obeys your new voice. And that voice has spoken with fire for 7 straight days. And if you did this, if you followed this drill, you are not finished. You are forged. You are not complete. You are commissioned. You are not perfect. You are permanent. A new identity is not a costume you wear for a week and then take off. It is not a feeling that comes and goes like the weather. It is a daily system of thought, movement, command, and reflection. And if you have done this work, then that system has become your skeleton. It holds you up when you are tired. It pushes you forward when you are afraid. It is who you are. But I must warn you, the world will try to pull you back. The world does not like a man who has broken free from gravity. The world wants you to stay on the ground with the rest of the heavy things. Your friends may mock your new discipline. Your family may question your new silence. Your old habits may try to seduce you back into the warm bed of mediocrity. You must be prepared for this resistance. You must expect it, and you must crush it. You do not explain yourself to the drifters. You do not apologize for your strength. You do not lower your standard to make others comfortable. You stand as a lighthouse. A lighthouse does not run around the island looking for boats to save. It just stands there and shines. And the boats find their way. Shine. Be the example. Be the proof that it is possible to live a higher life. Let us speak of the commissioning. In the military, when a soldier completes his training, he is commissioned. He is given a rank and a mission. He is sent out into the field not to practice but to execute. You have completed your basic training. Now you are being commissioned. You are being sent back into your life not as a civilian but as a commander. Your mission is simple. Build. Build your wealth. Build your body. Build your family. Build your legacy. Build a life that stands as a monument to what a human being can do when he takes possession of his own mind. You are not here to pass time. You are here to conquer time. You are here to leave a mark that time cannot erase. What now? The answer is simple. You return to the beginning. You return to part 1. You return to day 1. Not because you failed, but because you are a builder. And builders build daily. Masters train daily. Commanders rehearse daily. You do not watch this message again for comfort. You watch it for construction. You do not repeat it to feel good. You repeat it to become great. Each time you watch this, each time you speak these affirmations, each time you rise with discipline, you will sharpen. You will grow. You will refine the man you are. Greatness is not a destination you reach and then stop. Greatness is a path you walk every single day until the day you die. The moment you stop walking, the moment you stop building, the moment you stop commanding, you start dying. Do not die while you are still alive. Keep walking. Discipline is not an act, it is an atmosphere. Faith is not just belief, it is structure. An identity is not inspiration, it is installation. You now have the blueprint. You now have the protocol. You now have the fire. The only thing left is to repeat it. If you skipped a day, go back. If you whispered when you should have roared, go back. If you drifted when you should have moved, go back. This is not punishment. This is power. 7 days was never the finish line, it was the furnace. And if you stood in that heat, then what has emerged is no longer fragile. It is no longer negotiable. It is no longer undefined. It is definite. It is formed. It is functional. You are now a man of structure, a man of silence, a man of vision, a man of bold speech, a man of daily decision, a man of action before emotion. You are now the kind of man who creates what he once chased. You are now the kind of man who moves while others hesitate. You are now the kind of man who speaks with such power that your subconscious mind cannot disobey. Do not let this fade. Do not let the dust settle on your new self. Keep the mirror polished. Keep the sword sharp. Keep the fire burning. I want you to imagine your future self. Imagine him 10 years from now. He is looking back at you in this moment. He is looking at the decision you are making right now to continue or to quit. He is begging you to keep going. He exists only if you persist. If you stop now, he vanishes into the mist of what could have been. Do not let him die. You owe it to him. You owe it to the potential that was placed inside you at birth. You were not created to be a footnote in history. You were created to be a headline. Write your headline. Write it with your actions. Write it with your discipline. This is the final seal. I want you to take a solemn vow. Not a wish, not a hope, a vow. A vow is a sacred contract between you and the infinite. It is a promise that cannot be broken without breaking your own soul. Stand up, wherever you are. Stand up. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel the air in your lungs. Feel the blood in your veins. You are alive. You are powerful. You are here. Say this aloud 10 times with full breath, full strength, full authority. 7 days ago I began. Today I command. I am no longer who I was. I am who I decide to be. Again, 7 days ago I began. Today I command. I am no longer who I was. I am who I decide to be. Again, 7 days ago I began. Today I command. I am no longer who I was. I am who I decide to be. Feel the vibration of those words. They are rearranging your DNA. They are rewiring your brain. They are sending a signal to the farthest corners of the universe that a new power has awakened. Let that phrase echo through every action you take from this moment forward. Let it shape every word you speak. Let it vibrate through every step you take. This is your creed now. This is your law. This is your daily ritual. Awaken in silence and speak your aim. Declare your affirmations. Visualize the end. Move before 9:00 a.m. Return to this message again and again until your past is forgotten, until your name is rebuilt, until no man, including yourself, can remember the person you once were. You are not who you were. You are who you decide to be. And you decided 7 days ago. The drifter is dead. Long live the master. The slave is gone. Long live the king. The victim is vanished. Long live the victor. You have the tools. You have the map. You have the compass. The ocean of life is vast and dangerous, but you are the captain of the ship. You do not fear the storm. You ride the storm. You do not fear the deep. You explore the deep. You steer the ship toward the golden shore of your definite purpose, and you do not stop until the keel hits the sand. Go now. The world is waiting. Your destiny is waiting. Your life is waiting. Do not keep it waiting any longer. Step out of the shadow and into the light. Step out of the silence and into the roar of action. Step out of the past and into the future. I commission you to go forth and conquer. I commission you to be great. I commission you to be free. The 7 days are over. The rest of your life begins now. Make it a masterpiece. The 7 days are over, but the war for your mind never ends. You have been commissioned, but a commander needs constant intelligence to win the war. Do not let this fire die out in the cold wind of the world. You must keep adding fuel to the flame. Subscribe to this channel now. Make it your daily headquarters for strategy and strength. We are preparing more blueprints, more laws, and more keys to the vault of infinite intelligence. You do not want to be absent when they are revealed. And finally, I ask you to leave your mark in the archives of this video. Scroll down and write the words of the new man. I am who I decide to be. Let the world see your vow. Let your subconscious see your courage. I will see you on the battlefield. Stand tall.